I will never not get tired of the intro. But when I sat down and thought about it, bro, because of the way we got the current format, we have three different intros.
Mm-hmm.
Like three different intros. We might as well just we got three different shows.
We do. That's how I like it.
We just record.
Because I have a scatterbrain Jane and can't talk about everything at one time. So if I separate it, it's cool. It gives more content for the people.
That's true.
I talk music. I talk wrestling. Hell, I might start talking sports in this motherfucker.
I will not do that.
You ain't fucking with sports?
I just be having opinions about shit,
bro. Keeping up with sports is a fucking job within itself. Like if you become a fan of one particular type of sport, you really can't become a super fan of another one. Because it's too fucking much to keep up with.
Wrestling is enough.
Like we wrestling alone trying to keep up with this shit, then try to be this in depth with like football at the exact same time. You fucking lose your mind.
It's hard. That's why I just watch the sports shows. I figured Shannon Sharp know what he's talking about. He saw the game.
I love Shannon. But Uncle Shay Shay.
So about my Mr. Perfect beat. So at one point in time in my life, I thought I was gonna be a rapper.
Okay.
I thought I was cold too. I thought I was hot shit. Not really. I mean, I was decent at best, Logan. I wasn't saying shit that was gonna make a nigga go, "Oh my god!" No, I wasn't doing that. But I had this phase where I was like, I want to rap on a wrestling beat. Oh, I don't know if you know who Sherm is. Sherm used to live in the city, but then he moved out. But he's a producer.
Okay.
So I hit my nigga up. I was like, "Hey, bro, you think you could flip the Mr. Perfect beat?" He was like, "Yeah, I got you." And then that was that. I've had that beat for fucking ever.
So what happened to you dropping a 16 on it?
It never happened.
Bro, when I tell you we sat on that beat for almost 10 years before we even used it over here.
I started doing the internet radio shit, which crazy about that. I wanted to do that just to force people to listen to my music.
So it was supposed to be a segue to the music.
Right. It was supposed to be a segue to the music.
And then you just got so involved in that, you said, fuck the music.
Right. I found out that I was kind of good at that shit. So then it turned into podcasting, and now we're here.
Okay.
We're here.
And I don't think I'll ever go back to the music.
You got to get that beat of 16, though. You got to.
Maybe one day.
You can borrow it.
All right. I
you know what? That's what we'll do. For next season, we'll send you the beat. You put a 16 on it.
And that'll be our intro.
That's our intro.
I'll give y'all an intro.
You got some wrestling bars?
Man, I stay with him. Man, my pen game is
He
ferocious.
cannot be a wrestling fan and have not at least
Dog,
put a couple of arm bars in a bar.
I said that. I was like, man, I was just looking at like what culture is now and how everything just be so popular. I'm like, I miss my window of being a rapper to just have crazy ass wrestling bars. Like I missed the window. So upset at myself.
Man, I got y'all though. I get y'all.
There you go. That's all you gotta do. Sit on the beat, and we got him, fam. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Deaf Fresh Show. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. We're back in the building for another edition of Between the Ropes. So for those of you guys who are normally here for us to do our normal shit, this is wrestling related.
So if you don't like wrestling, you can leave the room.
You can leave. I mean, and we're not mad at you. Go? We're not mad at you.
I mean, we don't want them to go, but you know.
Or you can stay and learn.
Wrestling makes.
Oh yeah, stay and learn.
Right,
and then start watching the product.
Because we ignorant with it. But
I'm glad that women actually watch wrestling.
I know a lot of.
I love it.
A lot of them have been watching it more. Like, don't get me wrong, it started with The Rock, but you know,
like niggas be wanting Netflix and chills. Like, no, let's watch Peacock and smoke, fam.
Watch Peacock and smoke.
Like, let's just get high and watch wrestling.
Vintage wrestling.
Yeah, man, it should be so
great. Some vintage wrestling I can't watch, dog.
Do you go
like what? What time frame?
I can't watch certain old school WCW, bro. I can't do it.
Yo, that's just so boring, fam.
I can't do it, bro. It's
like
I get it. It was the
pre NWR or post NWR in the NWR
in the Attitude Era WCW. I can't.
That might have been the best time to actually watch WCW.
I can't watch WCW, period, because anything pre-Attitude Era is just territorial wrestling. It's bad territorial wrestling at that. So you may see a white dude with some loose draws and look like he just got off the recliner for this match. You know?
I feel like Vince like preconditioned that stuff. Or like, okay, do you know how like when you so used to doing one thing,
he gave us the show.
If another motherfucker, like if you try to do something else, it just feel like your whole day is off.
Yeah.
You just like every day I walk down this street to get to the store every day, 10 years of your life. And then the next, you just be like, you know what?
I'm gonna take
If I take a different way, I'm gonna get to the same location, but I'm gonna just take a different way. He's just like, yeah, that felt weird. Like, it just didn't feel right. I shouldn't have did it.
I don't trust it.
That's how watching WCW was. Like, I watched so much WWF, and when you try to watch something different, you feel like you're cheating.
I mean, but what do you do about now? Because it's literally at a point where there is wrestling on every fucking day. Monday, you got Raw. Tuesday, you got NXT. Wednesday, you got AEW. Thursday, you got Impact. Friday, you got SmackDown and some more AEW.
I'm learning to look at things more objectively. Because I guess, like, at one point, it was just WWE on TV.
Yeah, it was.
So, like, there was no more WCW. It was like, well, the niggas that I like won. Because, like, I often wonder what would wrestling look like
You missed the good TNA years.
It's like, you know, my niggas won, and anything that wasn't WWE, I felt like it was lesser than.
I used to try to get into Impact, and I was like,
I loved Impact.
Impact has some, like,
I've actually started watching Impact again right now.
When it was like TNA NWA, I felt like that's when it was good. Like, right before
six-sided
they
ring.
started hiring all of the WWF guys, I was okay with.
You were a fan of the six-sided ring?
Yeah, of course, though. That shit used to crack. The thing about it was when TNA first hit the scene, it was the alternative, which was needed. I always say you need an alternative. Even though you may not have been on the same level as the WWE at the time, you were an alternative. You could watch something different. You get to see your new people. It's like saying, I watch the NBA all the time, but these niggas are the best of the best. I want to have some basketball where a random dude may have a 50-ball game and we may never hear from him again. But you could say, I seen that moment. Or the college team in your area.
Watch D-League basketball?
College ball. You may get a random college dude who go crazy and then he just never made it to the NBA. Like, I like college ball. That's how I felt TNA was to me. So when you had young niggas like Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Eric Young, Samoa Joe, these cats were doing their thing. So I'm watching them, waiting for the day they make it to the E. But at the same time, back then, Vince wasn't looking at the little guys. You wasn't looking at the cats that was us. And then me and Juan was going to local wrestling. So this was closer. To me, I felt like this was that step. Local wrestling was like watching high school basketball. So you know,
local wrestling slap though.
My cousin is an indie wrestler, and he known.
What's his name? We might have seen him.
What's his name? We might know.
His name TC Washington.
Yep.
Yeah,
TC Mustafa. I was gonna say, watch they
I met TC.
That's
like
my blood. That's
they
my
had
first
the
cousin.
what was it? The Urban Horseman.
Yeah,
him and
remind me to use that name on the game.
the bigger guy and
Mustafa.
we was just all in. Matter of fact, we were all just in St. Louis together for the Rumble. We were all down there for the Rumble.
I think TC runs something up here.
That he got another promotion. He stayed doing shows.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not. I don't know if I follow the page, but I see sometimes I see the flyers in my news feed.
Right.
It's like
He's still doing
some kind of wrestling show.
Then you had the Priest dude.
Oh, Sean Priest.
Then you had Sean Priest. We was following Dog when he was just getting into the business. Oh boy, that was with CM Punk.
Yeah.
Damn, the black. You remember when Punk was having this little cult thing for a minute, and he had the chick with the bald hair, but then there was a black dude that joined it for a brief moment.
I remember.
He only wore black tights. That was it. He was still in his created wrestler phase.
Yes.
Who was he from here?
Yeah, he was.
His name was Chris something.
It was something, but he was at the time. TC had a small little stable. It was Sean Priest. It was him, Mustafa, and then Dude was part of it too. But he got his chance to be there, so kind of stepped away from it. But yeah,
Then he came back.
Then he came back, and we wasn't mad at him. It was like, it happens.
Yeah, he still put on some dope shows. They got some dope shows. They stay bringing in they're bringing one known wrestler. So they stay doing that stuff.
We used to go to BCW. That was kind of like that. Like it would be all of the indie talent. Then they have the one known guy.
The one,
or the one guy that had the name, but nobody gives a fuck about now.
That's how Juan started his hate for Mordecai.
Yeah, I met him, Kevin Thorne. He sucked.
The way he said he sucked.
Yeah, he had.
I thought I was gonna be the wrestler though. So me and TC both grew up on wrestling. I'm probably a couple months older than TC. He'll be 37 in November. So we used to wrestle like backyard ladder matches. I put him through tables, all kind of shit. He'll tell you. So I thought I was gonna do it. So then recently, like probably like 5-6 years ago, I was like, hey, I'm ready to start training. And they was like, you ready to start training? We'll train you. You know what I'm saying? I said, yeah. I want to beef with my cousin. I said, me and him got to have that family rivalry. I need to come in. With my people. And they was like, oh, nigga, you too opinionated. Like, take your ass home. You try to come and write the show and shit. So I thought I was going to start training and shit.
Bro, you got to start as the Packer backer before you move your way up.
Yo, I've seen some of the worst gimmicks.
You got to earn your way.
At this indie show. And I'll just be like, how's niggas cheering this?
Because it's the fact it's that personal experience. But that's
some of that shit just wasn't good.
And then that's what you had the back row for. Don't tell me you forgot about the back row.
No, it was this nigga that his name was Tyler Sunday. I never forget it. He was that fucking trash to me.
I forgot about Tyler Sunday.
And he used to come out with like the insulated bag that keep your snacks cool.
Yeah.
And just throw ice cream bars in the crowd. Like, you don't know where he got this ice cream from. What are you doing?
You got it from local.
Yeah, Ruthie the ice cream.
Like, I didn't trust it.
But anyway, you got to start somewhere, bro. But okay, so later on when we were going to the show, there would be this back row of old dudes, right?
Oh, that was cold.
Like when I tell you heckling at its finest, like Roman would cry if they were there, bro. These old dudes was on point with their heckle. They was on everybody. They didn't care. They was on the ring rats. They were on the wrestlers. They was on the refs. They were on who ran BCW?
They was on Frankie.
Frankie.
Fuck with him.
They was on dog. They was. I felt like they was paid to be there because they was so damn good at it, dog. So one day me and Juan earned the right to sit back there with them one day.
Oh, they taught y'all the game.
They
teach me the motherfucking game,
and then we just brought that over to podcast. So the next thing you know it, fam.
Indie wrestling is an
experience,
if
bro.
If you are a wrestling fan and you like wrestling, well, that will make you. I gotta stop getting high.
That would make you a fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like that's the official stamp you're a wrestling fan if you go to an indie show.
Yeah.
And not these AEW always in Chicago indie shows.
I'm gonna see when TC next show is, and then I'm gonna get us tickets for the free.
As a wrestler,
you know what the thing about it is we would pay. One, because it's TC and we fuck with them. And two, like we like to support y'all.
As a wrestling fan, do you feel like there are certain experiences that you need to experience?
Most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, so I had never did indie shows. It's like it's like with music. So I'm an artist. It's best for you to support your own people, but a lot of people won't support us and they don't know how much good talent we have here. So that's how I was with the indie thing for me. Like, damn, we actually got some dope wrestlers here.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. I never knew that. I'm so mainstream that I didn't know about. And then that's why I was like, man, I can see as an artist why we don't support our own. That's fucked up. So we need to support our own. So I went to TC. I went to a bunch of TC shows. They was doing them at the Miramar, and when the Miramar used to look like what it used to look like. And then now they hold them wherever the fuck they can. It's bars on the south side, outdoors, whatever.
Yeah, I've been to some. I've been to some great indie shows, and then I've been to some shit. I'll be like, why did we come here?
Okay, so outside of going to WrestleMania, because I feel like that is every wrestling fan's mecca. You have to go to a WrestleMania before you leave.
Yep.
I feel bad for anybody whose journey was WrestleMania 9.
Which one was that?
That's not the worst WrestleMania.
But that was the worst experience.
Because it was in a parking lot of Caesar's Palace,
basically. But
hey, this was ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey man, say what you want. But
one thing I can say that I did do, and Juan probably forgot this. I've actually put on a wrestling promotion. We had partnered up with Wrestling Fans Speak Out. With our no, it counts.
I'm not saying it.
It counts.
Your experience counts of being a promoter.
It counts.
Just want to let you know.
So you got your Vince McMahon moment.
I got my moment.
Your Jim Cornette moment.
It was bad.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Okay,
it
hold on.
Happened.
We met some great
Too short. Blow the whistle. What made it bad?
Okay. It was only bad because one has this Juan has this thing about hating something and then growing to like it.
Okay.
So the
right, like
right.
you just said.
It's the experience of building a show from the ground up.
Yeah.
So the people that I was working with when we were doing that, they were huge wrestling fans like us. But just imagine Tony Khan without the money. You know the right people, you know the folks, you can get the pieces together, you can do what needs to be done, but because you haven't done it yet, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna drop the ball in different places, and as time goes on, you learn from the mistakes, you fix them, and you correct it. Juan showed up for the very first one they ever did. So, so it had its bumps. Okay, pun intended. It had its bumps. Some of the wrestlers weren't the best. Okay, like the little special needs dude. I don't know if he was special need, but he wrestled like he was.
Yo, when did a nigga dress like Mario?
They were good. Mario and Luigi was good.
You see the tag thing, bro?
Look, bro, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Shout out to my nigga JP though.
Right. I was mad for JP because that was one of his trainees. You know that, right? Little dog who all he kept doing was staying down. So like sometimes you want to, like you just said, you want to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Right. So you go in here, you do the proper steps. JP had been training this dude, and I guess he just wasn't getting it. So here was his opportunity to get in the ring. They use it as a little training sparring session thing, right? Bro, he wasn't catching on. So he just kept staying down, and JP spent the whole match basically stumping him out. Spent the whole match stumping him out. He pinned them, and then we went home. Now, JP was fire on the mic, though. One of the best locals I heard on the mic. Damn good manager, too. Matter of fact, he'll give Sami Zayn a run for his money right now.
He had a cold stable in BCW.
He did have a cold stable.
It was called the Illuminati.
I can't remember who was in it, but at the time, it worked.
It did work.
See, I think like wrestling-wise, I probably can't give y'all shit now. But mouthpiece-wise, I'll be Stokely all day. I'll be Stokely all day. I'll be a cold mouthpiece.
But it was
No
an interesting thing. The funniest thing in the world. So when we're doing the show, Juan keeps doing something that you're never supposed to do.
What's that?
Juan kept sticking his head out from behind the curtain. So there are photos. I might still have them. I got to look for it. But there's photos of people doing their actual entrance, and Juan's head is out the curtain while they're coming out.
You want to see, man?
It's a different feeling when you see wrestling from the other side.
Yeah, so
we're so used to being the fan and the consumer. It's like when you get to see how the dope is made. Like, oh, you put that in it? Really? Cinnamon? Oh, I didn't know it was nutmeg in here. So you find out niggas is like really spicing up the crack. Like, it's amazing.
Right. So first of all, we back cutting. We recording promos. We doing backstage interviews. We putting together this nice little. We was cold with the interviews. First of all, our backstage interview game was on point. All right. So we back here. We doing it. We building it. Getting ready. I don't know what we were using it for because we damn sure wasn't doing no video package.
Yeah, we just doing it.
Just doing it and having fun.
We just being fans.
We're just being fans who got allowed to do shit. And Juan got tired of being in the back, but instead of coming around the front when the matches are going through, he did it in the middle of the fucking entrance. So it was funny.
That might have happened. Pretty sure
it was fun. It was fun. I was in the ring. I was promoting. I was doing spots with, in the beginning when they learning how they gonna tell the story. I was in there doing that with them. It was a great experience. It was hot as hell in that room because they did it in like the upstairs of a bar.
Would you do it again?
Of course I would. I would never not do it again. It's one of those things whereas if the money was right, like if I had money to burn, I would definitely get together with a group of people, and this would be my side passion project. I'll make sure TDR is where it needs to be so it's actually self-sufficient, and then y'all can go blow money on titties. I'm gonna go blow money on a wrestling company.
But I seen you recently. I got back on Facebook because going through the police shit, I took my page
right. I
down.
seen that,
and I seen you say like, shout out to the business owners who be writing their own shit and do everything. This shit is a motherfucker.
Not even to go off topic. I sat down because I had to update my business resume as well as do a business plan because I'm like looking to get a new space. Not that I don't like here, but I need another space because we do too much shit. Period.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I'm like, let me update my business plan because the first one I wrote was back when we were still internet radio. we on a completely different game plan now. So I got to have a whole different thing. And it literally took me 4 days to do it. Not because it was hard, but it was just like making sure information was correct, which is why I respect a Vince McMahon, a Tony Khan, a Jeff Jarrett. Hell, I even respect Ole Anderson because he was the booker at a really fucked up time. So I respect that. But this rolls me into my question. Great segue, guys. Great segue. Recently, Clash of the Champions. Was it Clash of the Champions?
Clash of the Castle.
Clash of the Castle. Somebody else made that mistake. Theory. Okay.
His jaw hurt.
Right. Phenomenal. Okay.
It was a dope show.
One of the best pay-per-views in a long time. Top to bottom. I think the only thing on the card that made me be like, you could have left this at home was Liv and Shayna. Okay. But other than that, card top to bottom, it was great. It was unpredictable. You didn't really know who was going to win.
Crowd was dope.
Crowd was definitely into it. We got that unnecessary 5-minute sing-along at the end because they didn't cut the feed. But still, we don't care. So I pitched it to the guys in the group. If you pay attention in the crowd, a lot of fans was holding signs said, give us WrestleMania. And I was like, WrestleMania is 2 days. Why can't day one be there and day two be in the States? That way, one, we don't have to choose what day we go. It's only one day we can go.
Yeah.
You in the States. But you get, because that was sold out. So you can definitely sell it. And you got NXT Europe going on. Make it feel special. That way, on when WrestleMania is going on here, you're getting an NXT Europe pay-per-view over there. Then when we getting WrestleMania Part 2 and it's over there, we're getting NXT TakeOver here. Oh, and they're changing it back to TakeOver.
They are. They're bringing them all back.
We're not there yet.
I just
we're not
throw it out there,
okay.
still there.
We're
cool.
not at that section of the show.
All right. So, do you think it could work with the new 2-day format that they're running, that one can be here and one can be overseas?
So I'm gonna start by saying this. I am not, as somebody who's been to several WrestleManias, I'm not a fan of the 2-day shit. I feel a 2-day format is terrible. I feel like, yes, being at the show, it was jam-packed, but those 4 hours that you were there, it was dope as shit.
Well,
now the 2 nights is you got to spend more money. That's the thing, because now you got to buy tickets to both nights. So as a consumer of the product, now I got to spend way more money, because it might be matches on night 1 that I want to see that's not going to be on night 2. And then night 2, I got, damn, you got The Rock and blah, blah, blah here. I got to go there too. It's just more money you got to spend. I just think it was Vince McMahon. So in his philosophy, like, it's got to be in one city. It could work. It most definitely could work.
Because you got to think about it. If you go to the earlier years, WrestleMania 2, he did it in 3 different places. It was like hour 1 here, hour 2 there, hour 3 there. Now it was kind of
essentially it's 3 different shows.
Yeah,
because it's in Chicago, and I think the second city is LA.
Right.
And I want to say it was in New York.
Yeah, he did the big 3.
And then on the first day, if you got, I guess it's closed circuit in your building. And then it's like, it might be in New York. And then when he's in Chicago, it's closed circuit in the building of LA. I think eventually the UK will get a WrestleMania.
They will.
That energy was too dope.
They'll get it because it's guaranteed money. But going to Europe before Juan goes in depth, I think we went 2 because that first WrestleMania, was it during COVID, and they booked it. It was 8 hours long, and we were burnt out.
WrestleMania 35.
Yeah.
When Becky main evented, 8 hours long.
It was 8 hours long.
8-hour show.
It was
Is that the one in New York? When I was there,
that was MetLife.
It was
I left during them. I left during Corbin and what's the name? The Beat the Traffic. Yeah, I left. So I didn't even see that.
So you didn't even get to the main event.
No, I didn't. I left because I'm like, traffic is bad. I already got to catch an Uber, and I left because I knew coming out of that motherfucker was gonna be a pain in the ass. So I still to this day have never watched that match.
Oh, so you've never?
I've never even seen that match. Never even seen the match. But that's the thing, like, even so, I just look at it from a consumer standpoint. Like I would rather, what did I spend? Probably like $300 on that ticket. I would rather spend $300 one time over than do it twice. And the quality of the seats not guaranteed to be good for both nights. You know what I'm saying? That 300 might be a little different on this because you might have a bigger star on this show as opposed to that one. Like it's
damn, I had a thought.
I think when you buy the packages, you technically are guaranteed the same seat both nights. But I kind of like I get your perspective and I get Vince's perspective, because think about it. If we're back in Chicago, right? Let's just use them as an example, right? We're back in Chicago. You got people like us, the Midwest, who we're driving distance, so we're guaranteed to go. Then it's WrestleMania. You got those people who just go to WrestleMania because it's WrestleMania. So this they don't go through no other pay-per-views throughout the year, but they save up to go to WrestleMania. Then you just have people who have an idea of what the main event might be, and we want to see it, right? WrestleMania can sell out like that. Like that. It's the one pay-per-view that's going to sell, like the Super Bowl. Let's keep it a buck. People buy it because it's WrestleMania. By doing it on 2 days, you are guaranteeing everybody to be able to have the experience, as long as you either A, buy the package, which of course is going to cost a little bit more, or you can buy 2 different tickets on different days. And like me and Juan always say, WrestleMania tickets go on sale long before we even know what the main event's going to be. So it's a coin flip regardless.
If niggas like to gamble, that's a gamble.
It's a gamble regardless. It's a gamble regardless.
Because you could spend a G on them tickets like, yeah, I'm in here. Then they announce the main event. You be like, bullshit.
It's like Jinder Mahal is going one-on-one with Shaggy.
It's a coin toss no matter what. So it's like, we here. Fuck it. But it's WrestleMania. And plus, they tell you the year before where it's at. So you really got to, you plan a whole vacation at this point. Like, fuck it. This is the culmination.
WWE marketing team is fucking amazing.
And that's, I think, what it is.
Because they're going to tell, and now, and like for the past couple years now, they've been announcing where WrestleMania is going to be for the next 3 years. So like when we were in the pandemic, they were talking about LA. So it's like we already knew where they're going this year.
The next several states,
right?
Because they had a promo where Roman did something saying what 1 year was going to be. Then they had that
and
was
then
cold.
They just announced their 40 is in Philly. It's crazy.
Where? Hold on, timeout. Philadelphia,
Lincoln Financial Field, where the Eagles play.
Okay. I was gonna say it had to be. It couldn't be where the fucking Sixers.
No, they're doing it where the
no,
Eagles
it's got to
play.
be. It's
probably gonna look something like what they do in New York, because there's a chance it could fucking rain, just like it did at 29. It fucking rained.
But I thought they would learn from that. Like, get some dome places.
Not every football team has a dome.
So what I'm saying, look into the places that got it for weather consumption.
You gotta look at money
but when, like, I feel like you want to be able to give everybody or every city who willing to make some money this WrestleMania experience. If we start going to only places where it's domes, even just watching the NFL, you really ain't gonna have that many places. So you gonna hit LA a couple times, and you may hit Texas because you could do it in the Texans Stadium, or you could do it where the Cowboys play. Then it's like, where else you going? Like, they're not really trying to come to no small city like Minnesota.
They come here. Come to Miller Park, man.
See, and that's not, as much as we will love that, it's not profitable.
Like, if you look,
Pfizer Farm's not profitable.
Like, and you would think that you was like, why not Minnesota? It was like, it's a small city. What we gonna do there?
Right.
Like, Detroit is really a stretch, but niggas will go to Detroit.
Quiet as kept, is shit to do in Minnesota. When I went there for the AEW pay-per-view when Hangman won last year, it's plenty shit to do down there.
I know that, and I was only there for like a TLC.
I feel you that, but
it's like, I feel like as dope as it would be to have it in Miller Park,
it'll never happen.
They look at Milwaukee probably like, it ain't really shit to do.
We like probably like a C or D city.
The way
I mean, now that we got the Deer District, I feel like they're trying to build shit up to where shit would want to come to Milwaukee.
The problem with Milwaukee is we're too close to Chicago.
That should be a plus, though.
Why would we want? Think of it from a business perspective. Why would I want to choose the smaller city for something massive?
Because we don't want them niggas from O Block at WrestleMania. I said it.
They're gonna tear that down.
Where we can do it at Chicago, which is a big city who has in history done as well. That's the only problem. We'll get smaller pay-per-views, or premium pay-per-views.
If we get anything,
We're not getting
I'll
the big
take,
four.
I'll take a Rumble in Miller Park because now they're starting to expand with putting the Rumble in these fucking baseball stadiums.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I'm waiting on.
Give us a Survivor Series. Shit.
You know what I really think?
Bring back the actual Survivor Series.
We're gonna get to that because I made that statement in the group and niggas act like they know what I was talking about.
I would say this: if they were to do, now you're talking about like a international mania. Before I would give it to Europe, I would probably give one to Toronto. I would go to Toronto.
Toronto's had it already.
Toronto don't count
but
to me, though.
it's been a while. I think the last one was when who the fuck was that when the Rock and
Rock and Hogan. That was the last WrestleMania in Toronto.
Toronto
And how long ago
doesn't.
was
To
that?
me, Toronto doesn't count. And the reason why Toronto doesn't count because it's really just another U.S. city who happens to be on the other side of the pond. They're still here. Detroit and Toronto is about as close as Chicago and
Bruh.
Milwaukee.
There's a river
Literally,
that connects Detroit and.
it's literally.
I was watching a drug documentary. Niggas was on jet skis moving the work. Fam.
Yeah. It's that close. So honestly, I don't count Toronto because we could easily just go over there. But going completely across the transatlantic,
I feel like if
It's
they
to
were
me.
to do it,
the Queen's dead.
that'll
Let's do it in England.
That'll be a WrestleMania that you could probably fit into one show just because of the time difference. Because they would have like the pay-per-view gonna start at fucking noon.
Bro, do you know how
And-
early in the morning that is? Because the one they just did, it was noon to us, but it was 7 to them.
Right.
So that means that pay-per-view would start at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's a hell of a time jump. And I feel like they'll get it, but like the situation got to be right. Then I feel like for you to actually take WrestleMania over there, you need the biggest fucking European star. I love Drew McIntyre. I don't think he's it. He's not one of them ones.
It's Walter.
I love Sheamus.
It's
I
Walter.
don't think that to put a WrestleMania over here,
Walter.
You said Gunther.
You got to do Walter / Gunther.
I don't know if he's it.
Bro, did you just the match that him
You-
and Sheamus
you-
just had?
just because
that
you
could have
can-
been the main event.
Just because you can wrestle well and they're popping because we're here in your backyard, fam, that don't make you a star. That don't make you over.
Okay,
That makes the moment over.
and that's all you would need for WrestleMania.
But we gotta-
moments.
We have to sell it, Tone.
You
There's like, okay, look at it. Just look at it like this. Between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, how many pay-per-views do you really get in between?
about 2.
Sometimes we don't, though. You're going to get the Elimination Chamber, which they might take overseas. But I got from January to like April. That's a lot of fucking time that I need to sell this pay-per-view.
Now the Walter,
Because you got to tell me that Gunther is the nigga.
no, his
That when we put this in Europe, I don't want to hear myself fucking think when that pop comes.
but here's
And I don't think he that.
I
I
nigga.
think Sheamus got a bigger
I
pop than
think
he
they
did.
I think they can. Imperium definitely has all the pieces.
They're
And
not them niggas, Tom.
But the
I
way-
love Imperium, bro.
but the way- but-
they're not it.
the thing about it is, and this is the reason why I said I think they could pull it off when you do Sheamus Walter too. I refuse to call him Gunther. I
As
just
a main
do it.
event, bro. Hell no.
You can do it. The way the supporting cast carries that story to the point where both Walter and Sheamus looked at like you got two. You
All right. I
okay?
see where
hold
you're
on.
going.
Wait a minute. Let me back it up a little bit. Have you ever truly watched soccer fans?
Yes.
Okay, them niggas can get rowdy, right?
Yes.
Okay, when you literally put a Walter and his crew against a Sheamus and his crew, you are literally putting uppity Brits versus soccer hooligans. That is a concept that is known throughout Europe. Period. That's just how it is. Like a
All right.
fucking Bears and Packers fan.
I get
That's what you get
all right.
naturally.
I get what you're saying. It makes perfect sense. But let's put this into a reality context as if this could really happen.
It probably will.
WrestleMania will go to Europe, give or take 5, 6, maybe 7 years
Yeah.
before we get over there.
True.
But we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there.
Do you really, the way they've slotted Sheamus will not be anywhere near fucking WrestleMania main event.
No, let's get,
I'm keeping it funky with you.
if we're talking
real-
5 to 6 years,
The head of the table will be the champion for the next 5 years.
first of all, you smoking the finest of cinnamon crack.
He won't hold the belt for 5 years, but the main event scene in the WWE will revolve around
unless he
Roman.
goes Hollywood.
Right.
It can
So
revolve
now,
around him, but also take in consideration we got this 2-show concept that ain't going nowhere.
Okay, but
So
what
it's 2-day concept.
No, but what I'm saying is, now if you go to Europe, it's going to be one show. You only get one time to go on last if this is one show.
I don't know, bro. I don't think they're gonna do single.
The
shows.
time difference is too fucking crazy for this to be 2 nights.
It has to be a real reason why they condense it in one time.
And if you give it to me one time, all I need is one European star with the fucking star power of Stone Cold to stand across from the Tribal Chief, because that's who's main eventing this.
Okay, so let's stop right there.
And I do not believe it is Drew McIntyre.
No, let's stop right there. For the WWE to say, okay, we're going to move a WrestleMania overseas in about the next 5 to 7 years, right?
We need a megastar.
We can start building it. All you have to do is find who you're going to slap the rocket on when you relaunch your NXT Europe, right?
So then who, like, what I'm
Right
saying
now,
is, who is it?
Right now, if we look at it, we can't answer that question because...
Or do they poach?
I
got some people in New Japan that's ready.
I don't think
Will Ospreay. You don't like Will Ospreay?
No, I ain't got no problem with Will Ospreay.
We're gonna get to AEW.
But the problem with Will Ospreay
in New Japan, but I'm just saying he could be somebody
he been popping up. He could be, but I think in that particular case, the one thing about WWE I can say that they've always been consistent with, no matter who's in charge, is their superstar is gonna be homegrown. It's going to be somebody they built up. They won't take it from somebody else and make them a star unless that star is unfucking deniable. Because AJ has always been that dude, but they have yet to slap a WrestleMania main event on his back. Their main event person has always been homegrown.
I think we as fans define like the main event different than what an insider will call it. Because see, a nigga who is champion probably feels like when you the champion and you a good wrestler, you probably look at it like, well, no matter where I'm at on the card, that's the main event. But I feel like we as fans define the main event as, well, who went on last? Because if you went on last, that means you the most over guy in this company. Like you that nigga because you go on last. And I feel like as fans, that's just how we look at it.
Right.
Because technically AJ got a WrestleMania main event. He wrestled Shinsuke after Shinsuke won the belt. It didn't go on last, but you know,
I was there for there.
It was like third from the top.
I mean, would you consider
that
him and Undertaker theatrical shit a main event?
Technically, yes.
It went on. Yes, because it was a moment.
Yes, it went on last of the first night of WrestleMania.
Right. It's a WrestleMania moment. It's something you'll never forget. I liked it. I feel like they need to bring back the theatrical ones every once in a while. It just doesn't need to be a WrestleMania only thing.
I like after watching like WrestleMania 36, like looking at it now that the world is open back up, I just wonder, like, that Undertaker match was really good to me. I like the movie aspect of it. I feel like that was the best thing that happened to that match, because I don't think I would have wanted to see
it live.
Taker and AJ in a wrestling ring. I don't know, like when you look at the pandemic and a lot of shit that we got from it, you're like, if there's no need to think outside the box to give niggas a show, this is going to be a regular wrestling match, and ain't nobody really going to like that shit.
And that's why I like when they do theater.
Bray and Cena would have been ass in a wrestling ring. It'd have been like a 5-minute match at best because Bray was going to squash Cena.
But I love the way they told the story because it fit more into what Bray and The Fiend was supposed to be. I feel like when you give him a regular match, it either has to be a really good match or it needs to be a squash to make the character work. But when you do the theatrical parts about it, it makes all the funhouse shit make sense. So yeah, and you didn't have to work that hard with Cena. I got his 5 moves didn't need to be necessary.
You think Rock's coming back?
I do. I think he's gonna be at Mania. I think he's clearing his movie schedule, and I think they just doing enough talking about it. Like Roman was just talking about it on Logan Paul pod. I watched that pod, and it was a pretty dope pod, and he was talking about it. I do think they gearing up for it, but I think just in the slightest chance that it don't happen, then Cody is gonna be the one to wrestle Roman at Mania.
I feel like if Roman wrestles Rock, this is just me. I feel like The Rock is big enough of a star and Roman is so over right now, it doesn't need to be a belt.
But they've been saying that. They'll probably get him to drop the belt because the belts don't need to be on the line.
I feel like this is more of a personal, it's a family thing. Like, hey, I fed you niggas. Or Roman like, nah, nigga, I'm feeding you niggas now.
Exactly. And I think they're trying to find a way to get both of the belts off of Roman. I mean, at least one of the belts, because they're trying to make the United States Championship like the A belt right now. That means something because the USA Network is on their ass. Like,
right, because we don't have a champion.
Yeah, they don't have a champion, and they tired of that. So they trying to creatively find a way, like I read the other day, to get at least one of them belts off of Roman. How they do it, I don't know, but they're trying to find a way for him to drop one of the belts.
Because I feel like if Rock is gonna come back and wrestle Roman, we don't need a title. I feel like Seth and Cody need another WrestleMania match so Cody can have his moment. And I feel like Drew needs I feel like he need a redo. Like, he had to do a lot of work to be like the face of the company.
I think it was
in the middle of a global shutdown
because it was in the pandemic.
But you did your thing. Like, as much as I tell niggas I hate Dean Ambrose, shout out to him because you got to carry this flag in the middle of like no fans, like, and you got to make all this shit interesting.
And he's doing a damn good job. Like, niggas shit on him when he was Dean Ambrose, but as Moxley, he's over there working. He's probably the only champion.
He can work. I ain't a fan.
And there's a lot of champions over there, but he's the only champion that's guaranteed to be on TV every damn week. Wrestling at that.
I want, before Drew get another do-over as champ, I want Kevin Owens to have another go at being champ.
I think
without being with Jericho and all that, I want to see him.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, there's a lot of niggas that need.
It's a lot. They got a lot of hard workers over there, man. That's what I'm saying. They got to get one of them belts off because then I think right now Roman ain't gonna lose neither belt, so they got to find a way to get it off of him.
And Theory got to cash in soon.
And lose. I pray to God he's one of those cash-ins that loses. I am not a fan of him.
You're not ready for Theory to be.
No, I saw Theory at a local show in New Orleans. That's when I first got introduced to him. Keith Lee, Walter, all of them. It was a Progress wrestling show, and we went to it in New Orleans. And this shit was dope. But I'm just not Tony Storm. I'm just not a Theory guy at all. I don't.
And as a wrestling fan, that's your right, bro. It's a lot of niggas I don't be sold on.
Everybody likes everybody different or don't like. I think the problem with Theory was he was a Vince boy, and that's why he is
probably
where he
reminded
was.
him too much of Cena or something. I don't know.
I also believe that there's some things that even though we don't like it, it's just undeniable. Like, a lot of people sit on the internet and they be like, Vince or just WWE in general not making new stars. And then I think about it, I'm like, oh, they're definitely creating the new stars. It's just not the guys that you want it to be.
It's not who you want.
And then the guys that you want to be stars, y'all don't realize they had their moment. Vince might have not liked it, and he cut that shit off.
And taking consideration, Vince was not that instrumental in what was going on in NXT. So when a lot of guys came up, Vince didn't know who they were or what.
Because Vince would have knew that dude was like damn near a jobber in NXT. You know what I'm saying? He was with the Wave with Gargano on there, but he was getting his ass whooped at all time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I hate how they also try to make NXT seem like it's not a part of the product. And like, we don't already know who these people are. Then you bring them up and change their names and all that shit.
But that was Vince's doing. That's why, if you pay attention, Tripp is doing a really good job making everything fluid. Like, even if you're an NXT wrestler and you're on this show because we need you to fill in this gap because somebody went down, we don't take the fact that you're NXT off the table.
But going back to like Vince being out of touch, I really think, see, another thing that people bitch about but didn't like it when he did it, but he's doing what you asked. Like, a lot of people feel like Vince don't know none of the NXT guys. Fair. He don't. So then NXT moves to USA. So now I got to put you niggas on regular TV. I got to know what's going on over here. Niggas like, well, why Vince doing all this? Vince was like, okay, we're going to stop signing all you old niggas. And I'm going to really turn my developmental brand back into what it is. So all the new signees, 25 and under. Niggas keep saying, like, niggas be wanting WWE to go get young talent, but then the way he did it, niggas like, nah, I'm not fucking with this. So then he rebranded NXT and it's on USA. Everybody saying Vince, we don't know these niggas. So Vince is trying to show you, like, look, I'm knowing these niggas now. So when I move Braun Breaker from NXT to Raw, he can still be Braun Breaker. Because I know this nigga now.
I'm not a fan of him either.
But
I got a lot of time.
No, I'm not saying that you have to be a fan, but like, do you see where he's going with it?
I see where he's going.
I need to know these niggas, so when I introduce them to y'all on my television show, everybody knows these niggas. And then everybody was like, oh, them colors too bright. Fuck this shit.
Hey, he turned the lights on and we wasn't ready, bro. That's all I'm saying.
But like, and I tell niggas a lot, if you watch NXT enough, it's just like watching the main roster. You're going to find those who you fuck with, and you're going to find those who you don't fuck with.
Because Grayson Waller is my nigga.
Right. So it's like, you may not fuck with Braun Breaker, but you might fuck with Carmelo. Like, I fuck with Carmelo Hayes heavy. He's good. Again, but I
think I was just designed. I was such a fan of the black and gold and how shit used to be, how takeovers used to be, bringing the signings of the biggest international stars and have them sit in the front row. Then when they get on TV, they walk them back through the crowd and shit. I was a fan of seeing that shit. So I feel like a lot of the tie-dye color was forced upon us. Like the opening night, Braun Breaker, I'm here to make a statement.
Right.
And I'm like, who the fuck is this
and
guy?
I think, and I get you on that because the change to 2.0 happened randomly. Funniest thing in the world, I started working at my job the exact same day the brand changed. So every year when they were like, congratulations on your 1 year, I was like, oh, it's the same day NXT 2.0 started. And then it get changed on the same goddamn day. Fuck you. But I liked what they were going with it because like Juan was saying, I would turn on NXT and I'm like, who are these dudes? So either A, in that moment, somebody has to do something to catch my attention, or I have to keep watching the product. Because I love the women's tag champ. Carter's my girl.
And that's all I
like them.
Like, if you watch,
Carter's
it's
my
just
girl.
like how people be like, well, why you don't watch AEW? I don't, but a conscious decision because I know I'm finna start getting back into doing wrestling pods. If you watch it enough,
right,
you will eventually find somebody that you fuck with. I fucks with Ricky Starks. He just got that.
He got that rock charisma to be the beginning of rock charisma.
He got that, like, you gonna be a star. You gonna be somebody.
Wait a minute, which one's Ricky Stark?
He kind of looked like The Rock. He the one that been fighting Powerhouse
eyebrow on Wednesday. Okay. He hit us with the eyebrow Wednesday.
Yeah, he got the little pineapple top. He came out there, cut the promo.
He from New Orleans, and he do the.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude.
He's good.
Well, I've actually been actually like fucking with Wes Lee. I hate him as an individual, but for some odd reason, I've been rooting for Dog lately.
They fucked him up.
I like him individually. When he was a part of that tag team, they got old and stale to me real quick.
You don't like MSK?
They got stale to me real quick.
But Joe Gracie is another one, dog.
He Kevin Owens 2.0 to me.
Gracie?
Joe Gacy can work. And then like he got this. He's good. I like him.
Joe Gacy reminds me of, and this is going to be a real throwback. He reminds me of what Kevin Sullivan wanted to be.
You that's real. You be showing your age sometimes when we be talking
I
about
remember
wrestling.
Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin Sullivan was fire though.
He's what Kevin Sullivan wanted to
See,
be.
but you probably saw like the good Kevin Sullivan.
I saw all alliterations of dogs.
Cause see, by the time I started like watching wrestling, it's
He
like
was old as
it's
shit.
94. Kevin Sullivan trash by now.
Wearing dry face paint,
Right. When I go back in the archives, I'll be like, oh, you was
pimping
that nigga.
pimping his wife off.
I just got to give. I think I'm gonna give it more like my 10-year-old daughter. She loved the tie-dye brand. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
gone
Like
now.
she's a huge fan of Toxic Attraction.
I
She
do
think
believe the tie-dye brand is going away.
they already confirmed it's gone.
Yeah,
Because
the
at the end of the
logo.
show, they hit us with the new gold and
It's
black.
not. But see, here's how you get rid of something that Vince did, but you also keep it at the same time. Because as you see, it's not black and gold; it's white and gold. So now I still have a hint of brightness, but I brought back my gold.
It's a little bit.
The gold is there.
Right, so it's white and gold now. It's not black and gold. That logo is white and gold.
Bring the logo up. I could have swore.
Yeah, it's gold with the white trim.
Yeah,
And it was black in it too, right?
Yeah, it's double trim.
Yeah, it's
So
double
black.
trim.
It's black.
but it's not
It's the
like how
hideaway.
that hard black and
It's
yellow.
clean.
It's clean as a bitch.
It's clean.
You probably find some James Master shirt.
I'm gonna
fact.
give me a shirt.
Big fact.
That
Big fact.
I got. I'm gonna go back to it just because I think Trips is gonna put his spin because it wasn't broke. So my whole thing was why fix it. I didn't know he got sick and all that shit, and then it got serious. I just thought Vince was trying to punish him because he felt like he didn't beat AEW.
No, like okay, so did you?
You couldn't expect unknowns to beat everybody you just let go.
It's an interview that he did. I guess while they was overseas or something.
What, Ariel Hawani?
Yeah,
I didn't watch it.
I watched it. So a lot of shit, it kind of makes sense. Like he said before he got sick, some of these changes were already in place. So like the NXT 2.0, like it was already a thing. It was just he got sick and then he went away. So now it just looked like Vince did this shit. Like I felt like if Triple H would have been like, yeah, this is what we're doing, a lot of fans would have probably been more receptive to the change. Because it's like, well, I trust Triple H and he never, steered me wrong. But he was like, they didn't put Vince in charge of this shit. When really, like, HBK down there really running the show.
He the new Regal, it seemed like.
I fuck with HBK as running. Like, when you see, like, certain people getting certain spots, when you look at it, you be like, yeah, HBK, that's definitely his idea. Like, this Quincy Ellis shit got HBK name written all over that.
I need explanation.
Like,
who was that? The bigger guy?
Yeah.
The quintessential diva dude?
Yeah, he kind of got like the Gold Dust Velveteen Dream kind of feel to him.
I need answers because
I was like, I don't get it.
Bro could not had a like willingly in the back said, give me that gimmick, bro. I'm gonna make it work. Unless either A, someone told dog you was never getting on TV and they just said I'll do this, or B, he did something and this gimmick is his punishment. And they trying to see and they trying to see, are you going to be man enough and make it work, or are you gonna bitch up and fold?
Bro, with all this Me Too movements, they ain't doing that.
It could be, dog.
You know how many lawsuits?
Gimmicks
Vince already in enough trouble.
Gimmicks, they can throw anything at you, bro. We don't know.
I think that's him.
And it might be, dog. It really do, but
it's different as fuck. But shit, when you let people,
I'm just mad his finisher is the bonsai drop.
Oh, the bussy bomb?
That's what he calls it?
Yes.
And that's why it bothers me, dog.
And,
the problem,
that's why I feel like it's a Shawn Michaels idea. I felt like he knew what the. It's kind of like when you go back to the Attitude Era and like Godfather out here cutting his promo about getting high and pimping hoes, and Vince McMahon really don't know what he's talking about. Like Vince don't know what the fuck a fatty is, and nobody wants to tell dog. Like he talking about rolling the blunt. Like nobody.
Dude, it's called the Bussy Bomb.
The Bussy Bomb.
Now you see why I said what I just said. There's no way you willingly accept it, bro. You didn't come up with
now, knowing that Wade Barrett has the strongest British accent, I cannot wait until the day I'm watching it and he calls the Bussy Bomb.
The Pussy Bomb?
In his British accent. I can't wait for it.
I think Big Joseph told him, hey, bro, don't never. I got this. From here on out.
Don't you ever
say that shit.
Don't do it, dog.
But
I just need more. I just need to know where Quincy Elliott came from and how we here, because he reminds me of somebody we know. And if
got
he
faith.
became a wrestler, that's exactly who he would be.
I got faith in the rebrand. I like most of the talent that's down there. I was telling somebody, and they told me I was crazy, but I'm like, man, when you look at the direction that WWE be going, like Brian Breaker gonna be WWE champion in about 5 years, and if he's not the champion, he definitely touching the main event.
Yeah, he'll be a main eventer. Maybe he'll grow one day. It ain't the day.
Hey, everybody not for you.
I do like that Triple H is, now that he's back in the fold, like some of his signings, he putting them in positions where he wanted them to be. Like, you know, Vince wasn't a fan of the small guy, so Gargano can go. Gargano to put on classes. Gargano is that nigga, but Vince didn't want him on the main roster because Vince wasn't a fan of little people. So now Triple H got him. I think Legado del Fantasma is gonna do something cold on the main roster.
Now that you bring him up, before we while I'm talking, Tom, can you look up the card for next week's AEW?
Tell me one match that matters.
Well, I need to know all the matches so you can tell me which one matters to you, my guy.
We already know which one he says
It's only
matters.
one matters, bro.
But the whole card is cold. But yeah,
But do you feel like WWE as a whole, not just Vince McMahon, but any of the higher ups that bring talent in, do you think that they've been chasing this Latino ghost since like Eddie Guerrero?
Yeah, they have.
They're chasing his ghost, and then they're looking for Rey Mysterio's replacement, but they can't find it
because they thought Rey Mysterio's replacement was going to be his son. Now, I do like the dark path that he is on.
Look, no.
You don't like it?
No, hold on. Wait a minute. It's not that I don't like it. They took entirely too damn long to get here.
Facts.
That's to the point that I don't care anymore.
Because I've been screaming "Kill Judgment Day" for like 6 weeks now.
Like,
just get rid of this shit.
Then
they pulled the trigger. I'm like, damn, now I got to get reinvested because
Right,
I want to see where they go with them.
Like, they were supposed to did this a while ago. This was supposed to have happened before Edge got back into the picture. Now, don't get me wrong. The fact that he did it to Edge, which was the confirmation, it should have happened at Race 20. It should have happened then.
The celebration?
Yes. That's when it should have happened. But instead, he gets dragged out. He gets beat up. Truth be told, we just think he's in the BDSM. And this is the whole shit going on with he and Rhea. Like, dog, in the group, we have came up with different scenarios of how this story should go. And it got to the point like, okay, you didn't pull the trigger, then we don't care no more. Now you done it. It's like,
I just like it because, like, Rhea pulling the strings. Like, she whispering to him in the dark rooms and shit. Like,
they fucked.
She put the pussy on him.
She fucked him.
She fucked.
There's a difference of fucking and then when you get fucked. She fucked him. For sure.
She fucked the shit out of him. That's why he mind blown.
And
she controlling him.
Like, cause she fucked him.
If Rhea say punch your mama, he probably decked the shit out of him.
Because, bro, think about it, dog. It wasn't until that last promo. I really did not know Dom is damn near 30. This whole time, we thinking he's fresh out the.
And still terrible.
Because I don't think he was ever supposed to be a wrestler. I don't think he ever wanted to be a wrestler.
Greatest luchador of all time.
He didn't want to be his daddy.
You remember when Brock Lesnar pulled him over the thing, was suplexing him? I felt bad for dog then because I'm like, this dude young as hell. Brock into it with his daddy. Pulls him over the barrier.
No, he's
suplexing the shit out of him.
You almost 30. Your daddy is considered to be the greatest high flyer ever. And you're not even halfway good.
Not even a flyer. Fuck high flyer. You're not even a flyer.
Dominic trash, bro. But that's just me.
No. You don't get no arguments from me.
I know some niggas that fuck with dog, but I'm like,
why?
I don't know why, bro.
He is awful. He is fucking
awful. And they
awful.
be like, bro, you so harsh. I'm like, nah,
he bad.
This ain't even comparing him to his daddy. He just bad.
He bad.
He's just not a good wrestler.
He's
bro.
Bad.
Logan Paul's better than him.
Bro, why? Minus the Grand Slam match, why is every match on Wednesday title matches?
I don't know.
You got Jericho and Claudio on Wednesday for the Ring of Honor Championship.
I do feel like that's gonna be a good match, though.
I want Jericho to win. He said he chasing that Ocho. He said he need 8 world championships. Like, they got to do something to bring prestige. I don't know. Is he still chasing the TV deal? Tony Khan for Ring of Honor?
He got to, or just give up your Friday slot to Ring of Honor, bro.
Ooh, that would make sense.
We said that this week. We all said it. Yeah, we all said it on Friday, and everybody agreed. Yes, just give him Friday.
If you give Ring of Honor
Rampage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then work out a deal for a 2-hour one later on down
Yeah.
the road for AEW.
Yeah, I feel like just start small. That's how most TV shows started. Raw used to really be 1 hour.
Because it's a bunch of guys over there who still waiting till you get a TV deal.
And that's my issue with that's my only issue with AEW Ring of Honor right now. We know that you own Ring of Honor. You show the belts all the time. You put the belts, and Juan bring up a good point. You put the belts on 2 former WWE stars, so people automatically want to see because you know these, but it's extra special because they're both Ring of Honor originals. So it put a little more twist to it, but that's all we see.
Right.
We don't know what the rest of your roster looks like. So if you take the people on your AEW roster who you like them, but they're not getting enough shine, sprinkle in some of the ones you still got left over for Ring of Honor,
like the Briscoes,
throw them on Friday,
and all they need is an hour.
And you got a watchable show.
You give them an hour, it's a watchable show. If the network want to see more, boom, we'll bump it up to 2 hours.
And you're done.
It's very simple math. And like Tom just said, like all of your top titles are on former WWE guys.
Mm-hmm.
So now the names are there. It's a notice. These people are noticeable.
Only top title that's not is what the purists on what Daniel Garcia.
But that's
and NXT tried to sign him.
But that's what it's supposed to
shows you how good he really is. If WWE was like, hey man, you should come over here and fuck with us.
But that's the thing about the pure title that I like. It's supposed to be for those guys who we don't know yet. It's their NXT title, in my opinion. We don't know you yet, but you know you're good enough to hold a belt.
See,
okay.
Now that one, before we get to the card, that one thing about Ring of Honor, even though it's an AEW, is what would make me watch it if it wasn't. Because it's like a pure championship match. Like when he beat Willa Yuta, it just reading the rules, I was like, yo, this is different as fuck. Like
it is. The 3 judges.
You get 3 judges. You only get 3 rope breaks. You get one chance really low key. You get a pass to use a closed fist. After that, they tossing you out and the match is over type shit. Like those rules are really fucking interesting because now if like you book it right, it's like, well, what does the nigga do when you use all 3 of your rope breaks? Like how does this match look? That'd be like, that goes back to like the TNA thing when they had a 6-sided ring. Shit was different, so it made you want to watch. And as much as, you know, I understand people like AEW because it was the quick alternative, I feel like they don't do nothing to make it doesn't stand out.
It has its quirks that makes it different, but it's not enough for a new fan to come in. Like when you turn on AEW, the roster is clicked up. Like everybody on the roster is a part of some faction stable, but you don't have faction wars. Then you created the trios title in the midst of all of this, but you give it to basically your VPs. If you think about it,
they created a belt just to win. Yo, these niggas is
when you think about it, that
juniors.
belt was made for them so they can be buddies and run around and constantly always have gold, but allow the tag titles to bounce between actual legitimate tag teams. That's the only thing that's unique about AEW. The two entrance way, TNA did that already. That was one of their own. I even go one step further. WCW used to do that. They would literally have on this side, good guys came out this end, bad guys came out this end.
Did you ever watch ECW?
Yeah.
ECW did that at one point.
So it's like when I first started watching ECW, it was back when we had the black box.
I'm sorry to hear
those
that.
days.
I remember those days.
Flipping channels, I saw Rob Van Dam. Blew my fucking mind. And I felt like I had to see this nigga again. So I need to find where I can watch ECW. Now I feel like when you watch AEW, it's like I saw MJF. I think MJF is the shit.
Goated. That's my guy.
He is.
AEW is, they book their TV show like an indie show. It's hard to see your nigga again. Because when you watch AEW this week Wednesday, guarantee who was there this week won't be there next week.
I think that's where a lot of them are pissed off at Tony Khan, though, because they said they don't get their TV time and shit. So a lot of people been really like real life bitching about it. Like, we don't get like our TV time.
And I feel like because you have a bloated roster, you trying to give everybody TV time when low key, that's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to put the niggas who make money on TV. And if you need to define a new nigga to make money with the nigga who's already making money, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But it's like CM Punk, MJF, Daniel Bryan, like you may have a stacked fucking show one week, and then the next week, it's like, oh, well, they threw FTR on. I gotta watch Jade Cargill and now fucking Danhausen is main event.
I love Jade.
And it's like,
what other than a pretty black woman, what the fuck do y'all like about her?
She's strapped. She cold.
So it's
Jade
just her
cold.
looks. Because her
She
in
cold to
ring,
me.
her in rings is
You know what,
subpar
Tom?
at
That's
best.
because she lost the person who was hardcore training her. Cody Rhodes was training her. When Cody left, shit, everything else left with her. Shit, Daniel Bryan been working with her lately, but
I feel like outside of the fact that she is a baddie, I feel like I know for me personally, I see the potential.
I do.
And it's like I always like when you watch it, you can see where motherfuckers will tell you like I don't. That's like when motherfuckers say I don't listen to certain people's music, and then when they start making songs, it's like I don't know, bro. You kind of sound like this nigga because you secretly see what another motherfucker doing. Now I ain't saying Tony Khan is trying to replicate shit that you see in the WWE, but niggas watch TV. They definitely saw Bianca Belair and the popularity of not only because she black, she was a college athlete. Jade Cargill is black and came from a world of bodybuilding and fitness. Like, she probably wasn't a bad athlete. So they saw it. And Tony Khan was like, oh, that's my black girl magic right there. Jade Cargill been champ for 9 months. Ain't nobody touched this hoe.
38 no.
That's what I'm
39
saying, bro. Like,
now this is where my
Goldberg.
this is where my issue is.
it's Memorex, bro. They trying to put
And this is my issue with Jade. Love her. Always going. Anybody who knows me knows I always support the black woman in whatever is on TV. I'm definitely here for her. Kiera Hogan is my bitch. I don't care what none of y'all say. And I may touch Red Velvet on the thigh, but that's about it.
you ain't wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't wrong. I saw the way they
love
was
that.
standing on the TV
You know
doing
what
the
I'm saying?
promo. Like, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. I may touch her on the thigh.
I don't know who this Puerto Rican chick was that walked
She-
up.
she-
She did. It just wasn't.
But
You need
that
somebody
ain't,
new.
even, that ain't even Red Velvet. Red Velvet's still out. That's
Yeah.
the chick that Stokely put with
Right,
them
there's a
that
new
was
chick that
standing.
just threw in there. This latest
You know
one.
what I'm saying?
But Red Velvet, she be TikToking, so I know when she good. But it's like, number one, you have what is the equivalent of the women's mid-card belt, but you are literally being presented like the Goldberg, but you're a really honky-tonk man right now, fam.
Honky tonk.
If
Would
you
would
put
like
her
to share
in
some
the
more
ring
footage?
with a legitimate wrestler, okay, I don't think she would stand up. So for her to be on this 38-0 run, but you ain't crossed paths with a Britt Baker in these numbers, they bloated, fam.
Well, I feel like
These
that,
bloated
She gonna
numbers,
beat-
fam.
She gonna beat Britt though.
I feel like that's when she'll get better.
And I'm not against that. It's just at this moment,
Her division is the D League.
and that's why it's like
It's time for you to move up to the NBA.
exactly. There you go.
Athena was her test. And
What I'm thinking they
I love Jay, but the matches wasn't really good.
They what? And that was my problem. Kira and Athena had a better match.
Right.
Shit, Willow
But like I said,
had a better match. And that was a thick bitch, too.
I see the potential. And I think she's gonna be good.
She gonna be there. I just
You
think,
just gotta give her some time. Bro.
and I think that's what it is. It's like, but they're always putting her on TV because she's holding the TBS belt. So you can't be on. You cannot not be on TBS holding the TBS belt.
But again, though, I don't think AEW is her stop though.
It shouldn't be.
Jay gonna be in WWE. And
Trip, you know she is because Trip already likes her look. Then you throw her in the performance center and let Natty and the Glamazon get their hands on her. Woo!
because I feel like in essence, I don't know if wrestling fans pay attention, but WWE is always looking for your replacement. Like, think about it.
How
many black chicks was really on the roster before we got Sasha?
We had Naomi.
Yeah, but
it's a rotation.
It's a rotation. So
Yeah.
we had Naomi, then we got Sasha.
Because
Sasha kind of slowly she replaces Naomi as you know.
We always keep a 1-woman rotation
we had Sasha for so long. Yeah, we stumbled upon this diamond in the rough, Bianca Belair. Now her replacement don't look too well down there in NXT because Lash Legend is trash.
Lash Legend is trash. Period. I can't stand her.
She's
the only black woman wrestler I can't get behind.
Super garbage. So we can go ahead and sign Jay
because she sound like she from the Southwest Atlanta. Sound like where she from.
I would like to see the Baddies versus Toxic Attraction. That's some fantasy booking for your ass.
My daughter in love with Toxic Attraction.
And she is not wrong.
Toxic will win.
You don't fuck with Mandy Rose?
I've always fucked with Mandy Rose.
I fucked with Mandy when she first showed up on Total Divas.
And her progression is so beautiful. Like, she went from being a motherfucker who I thought they were going to fire her.
Nah, because I knew they wasn't going to fire Mandy because they gave Eve, whatever her fucking name was, not only let her keep her job for 2 years when she never once attempted to improve, but they rehired her back.
I don't even think she fired. She just ain't doing shit.
Nah, she got to be let go by now because she didn't do shit.
Did you pull up the AEW card?
Yes, I did, kind sir. And
what is the first match?
Well, being the fact that who knows if this shit's in order, but of course you got the
just read me the matches.
You got the world title match. Got Moxley and Daniels 2.
I got Daniel Bryan winning this one.
I got Moxley going.
I got Moxley winning again.
I got Moxley winning.
Just because MJF, the number one contender, and he had started this whole promo thing with Moxley.
Yep,
he talked about him being an alcoholic the other day and shit.
Yep, that whole promo was 100% Moxley.
It was Moxley.
Okay.
So I think I would rather Daniel Bryan win because Moxley, Daniel Bryan won, Moxley won. And that's when William Regal came out. That was in Minnesota. I was there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he did have to break that up.
Yeah. So I would love to see, you know what I'm saying, Daniel win.
I think Daniel should. If Daniel did win, there's a reason to have another match. Because, you got to have a rubber match. But, I mean, it'll be something different than Mox take 2 straight on a legit wrestler.
The thing about this match is I would not be mad at either winning.
I said that. I want Daniel Bryan to win, but I guess I'm not mad either way.
Okay.
Because even though I'm not a Jon Moxley fan, I respect what he's doing.
Whoever wins the belt is just temporarily holding it.
Yeah, because MJF got to take it.
MJF.
And that's why I would want it to be Moxley, because it's not like bro is not going to make the belt look already good.
And him and Moxley had a title match in the past.
Right.
And he beat MJF using a move he wasn't even supposed to use that match. So Moxley was like, shit, that win is already flawed.
Right.
And then I like the element of Stokely and the firm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like that element because they're on retainer.
Right.
So
that's cool. All right. Then we got black on black violence for the tag team title. You got Swerve and Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. This is their second meeting too.
The Acclaim got to take this one.
The Acclaim winning the belt.
I really feel like you need to capitalize on the fact that the Acclaim are over, like right now, because you got to give them the belt. They gonna last too much longer.
You got to give them the belt because they just got new merch.
You said what? They go crazy when he say "Scissor me, daddy ass."
He got new merch. When you get new merch, you got to put gold around it too.
And I like how the tag team titles are moving there. So the Acclaim might win it, but I think it's a pit stop. So when Stokely and the firm did their promo, the ass boys said they want tag team gold. Put the Acclaim up against them. The Acclaim got their daddy.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
I see the story.
I see the story building.
The story
you know
is definitely good. It makes sense. And then
like,
9
it
times
definitely
at
look
the
out
end
of places like, so your sons whooped your ass and said, "We not fucking with you," and you just start kicking it with some other niggas.
Kicking with the other niggas.
Literally kicking with niggas. But I think at the end of the day, Billy would screw the Acclaim over to make sure his sons get the belt, and that's when the family would come back together.
That's good storytelling.
Right good storytelling.
I fucks with that.
I give it that. All right, and then we got the ROH World Title.
Wow, that's Jericho and Claudio, right?
Yep.
I want Jericho to win.
I don't
man.
think-
Give him the
I-
Ocho, man.
I
I
don't think they've ever wrestled.
No, this is
I
one.
don't
This is
recall
one. This
Cesaro and
this is their
Jericho
first time.
wrestling in
Give my
WWE.
boy Jericho the Ocho.
First time.
He been taking L's on the chin.
Okay, no, you can't give him the belt. This is the reason why you can't give him the belt. Jericho does enough for this company already, fam. Not only does he have a whole appreciation society, he will get people where they need to be at. He will get wrestlers over. He got 5 different gimmicks that
But
he
you
can
just
cycle
said it.
anytime he wants
He
to.
helps people get stuff.
He commentates.
But you just said he helps people get stuff. He might help them get that TV deal. It's Chris Jericho.
That
holding
would be the
belt.
only reason why
I can see
I would.
that.
That would be the only reason why I would accept
So-
that.
Unpopular opinion. Some might agree, some might disagree, but after watching that promo before Chris Jericho got up from the commentary table, I was like, this is why. This is exactly why.
You never held a belt.
This is exactly why.
Yeah. Because when, when he first
niggas
started
was like,
talking,
Cesaro should be WWE champion. I used to be on board, but WWE was accentuating the positives and hiding the negatives.
which is why he was a Heyman guy.
He was a Heyman guy, and they stuck him with Zeb Coulter. And then when he did talk, it was very, very short.
He got that leash.
Yeah, because wasn't all his teammates have been the talkers of the group.
So, like, when he was out there with that microphone for fucking too long, it's like, that's why.
I feel like Jericho called an audible and did
He,
that himself.
man, he got
I
up
feel
on
like
the
that
table
was not
save
supposed to go
this
to.
shit.
I feel like that was not what was supposed to happen, but somebody caught the audible, and this is why we got this match.
And then Jericho was so upset he stumbled. He was like, "But I'm Jericho. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back to where we need to be."
All right. So the only match I care about,
Hold on. So do you got Jericho? Who you got winning?
I believe Jericho gonna put Claudio.
I'm
But if for the sake of the TV deal, it would make sense for Jericho. To win.
I still want. I gotta give it to Claudia. Jericho, like, I don't want them burning out my boy. Like, this is vintage Jericho right now. Bro is doing everything.
Jericho has been 7 gimmicks in the span of like 2 months.
Right, fam. I mean,
He's
dog,
been the Lionheart. He done been
Painmaker.
Every fight he ready to get, it's like, oh, I'm gonna bring out the Painmaker. Who the fuck is the?
That's his New Japan gimmick.
But it was the fact that dog was really doing it, and he really was fighting differently. That's why I was like, bro, you have to understand, if you pay attention to Jericho has reinvented himself every single time he shows up on TV. He has never ridden one gimmick for too long.
I also feel like another unpopular opinion. Jericho might be wearing out his welcome here.
They just said he united the locker room. He got the whole locker room behind him.
See?
So they said after that shit, like, he gave a passionate speech because quiet as kept. He's supposed to be on vacation. Him and Moxley both.
Yeah, they were supposed to be on vacation. They got caught.
And
And
because
Daniel.
of the shit that happened, they cut their water short. Like, no,
They had to cut.
we need you niggas back on TV on Wednesday.
They were supposed to take their break.
Well,
So it's not his fault.
hey, look, you don't gotta like what CM Punk said, but the shit kind of accurate because you got 3 niggas who couldn't operate a Target, but they running a wrestling company. Oh, this is fucking nuts.
I mean, he not
Hey,
wrong.
and I know
but-
some niggas that didn't operate a Target, and they wasn't all that great.
It wasn't. All right. So the only match I care about in this card is my boy, freshly squeezed, Orange Cassidy versus Pac for the All Atlantic title.
But I thought the All Atlantic, see, this is where they booking confused me. The All Atlantic title was just supposed to be an international belt. So from people from different countries and stuff, they made it seem like Americans couldn't go for that belt.
It eventually became what's their equivalent of the IC belt.
Right,
And
Yeah, don't they already got like 2 other IC belts? They got a
The
lot
TNT
of fucking belts.
well, you have
That is the
you have
conversation.
you have your world title.
What's the TNT? The US belt?
Yep. Yeah, it's the US belt because it's really only truly defended
I will call
on
the TNT belt more
European.
more intercontinental. I felt like the TNT title was. Remember how in WWE the IC title was reserved for the next guy?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the TNT title does. It's reserved for the next guy.
I'll give that to you because it's on Warlow right
and
now.
I feel like right now Warlow is the next guy. I feel like you were saying with the Billy Gunn situation. I feel like
so the All Atlantic, the 205 belt.
MJF getting the belt is going to circle back to eventually. Hey, I'm Warlow again. I got to beat you up one more time.
power bump.
Yeah. So I feel like
so All Atlantic is basically the 205 belt.
Well,
the cruiserweight.
what they don't. Okay, so it's the
They don't have a cruiserweight.
It's the world title, and then it's the TNT title. They have a secondary. They got another mid-card belt outside of the Atlantic. I don't think so. I think it's the world, TNT, Mid-Atlantic belt, tag team belts, and they got the women's belt, and then the TBS belt, which is like the women's mid-card.
And then I got the trios too.
Oh, then the trios title.
Hold on.
Far too many fucking belts
Hold on, I'm gonna pull up these.
on one show, I should say.
It
At least
don't-
WWE kept that shit simple. We got world tag,
eliminated
women's.
They
mid-card.
combined some. Hell, they just recently threw away the 24/7.
Is it finally gone?
Thank God.
Bruh,
Is it?
It's probably gone. That was Vince's shit. That was Vince's shit because Vince and R-Truth are like boys.
Why you always blaming Vince?
But the hardcore title days were cold to me. I used to love the hardcore title, but I think they tried to recreate that magic, but
No.
like PG-13 it. And I didn't want nobody with that belt other than R-Truth. R-Truth made the shit hilarious.
You're right. That's R-Truth's boy.
But then when they put it on Dana Brooke and shit, I'm like, get this. This is
The 24/7 title. See, they got this old adage.
So these are your belts when it comes to AEW that they recognize. So you got, of course, your world title, your TNT championship, your All Atlantic, your tag, your trios, and your FTW.
That's the belt they need to throw in the fucking garbage. That belt ain't never been recognized on no fucking continent.
That belt is only because Taz.
Hook needs a belt. Hook's so over, they needed to put something on him. And it's to carry his daddy legacy, but they need to get that
Taz.
on. That match supposed to be Wednesday too.
What
So
legacy
him
did
and
his
Action
daddy
Bronson
bring?
against
Well,
them.
it's not officially on the list that I'm looking at from AEW.
They announced it on Wednesday.
Well,
because
what they
I'm
do
actually on AEW's actual Twitter, so
Well,
that's why
is
it may have been
one night is Dynamite, and then the Rampage that damn week is 2 hours.
So it may be on the Rampage with
Right.
Action Bronson.
Yeah.
Because last match after Orange Juice beats Pac for this belt,
Orange Juice is not winning that title.
Pac got 2 belts. He got to give up one.
Nah, man, Pac two.
Hey, so I do think the firm gonna have a lot of goals soon. And all ego, Ethan Page. I fuck with Ethan Page. He said he want that belt to represent Canada. So I think
the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, he want that belt to represent Canada.
You gotta give Orange something. Orange has been over.
Again, though.
Over. You gotta use the same logic you losing for Hook.
He'll be the one that they take the belt off of.
And I'm okay with that.
All ego gonna get he deserve a belt. But
but does Orange really need a belt?
Does Pac need to?
Some wrestlers. We've been watching this shit for too long, Tom. Some wrestlers don't need belts.
I'm gonna say this.
Belts diminish characters.
No. Here's the reason why I say give Orange the belt. You don't want to hurt Pac being a 2 champ with him losing the belt to Page. Because Page is going to take off with it regardless. Orange is your Mick Foley in this situation. Something crazy will happen. Orange will get the belt. Orange will have the belt. Pac will challenge him, take it from him. We keep moving. We're not going to be mad. It's not going to hurt our feelings if Orange ain't champion no more. But Orange is over. Respect him.
I think
give him the belt.
It's not about respect. Belts diminish character.
He deserves a belt. He put on a good match, even with the Forbidden Door with Will Ospreay. That match was amazing.
That was a fantastic match.
That match was amazing. So it's like
Orange.
We knew he wasn't gonna win that belt, but it's like finally put something on him. Every title match he's had, TNT title, all that shit, he never won.
Orange does his thing, bro.
I don't think Orange is winning this belt, but I do fuck with the thought that Orange will be world champion one day. I don't think he's gonna win this belt, but he's gonna be world champion. Because again, he's over. He's undeniable.
Orange.
I just feel like some people be like, you gonna be this with or without a belt. I get it, like,
and that's Orange.
It's to show you that we value you, and it's kind of like getting a raise. Like,
I really wanted them to win the trios belt.
I did best friends.
Now see, I want the best friends shit. I would love that.
I didn't want Death Triangle going to win that belt. That I was pissed off. Like,
if Orange doesn't win this belt, they're gonna take the trios belt from the Death Triangle.
I can live with either way it goes. I can live with it.
Yeah, get your boy some gold.
Get best friends some gold. Bro.
Yeah, I wanted them when they had the intern match, best friends against them. I was like, man, they got to put the belt on Orange in them because why not? And then they lost to him. I said, fuck.
Because
this
Best
shit.
Friends is entertaining as a trio.
Man, they are very entertaining.
They are entertaining as a trio.
And whatever Danhausen is with them is
Danhausen is just there.
Until I was watching Rampage, I didn't know the nigga wrestled. I
Danhausen-
really thought he was just a nigga.
he was a
Danhausen
popular
is-
indie wrestler.
Yeah, he's very popular.
On the indie scene, very.
I
But
didn't know
Ethan
that.
Page threw his shit.
was whooping his ass.
Raised her age and just threw his ass.
It's the border toss.
I said ever since Razor started doing it, anybody who adds that as their finisher always puts Edge at the end of it, except for Hernandez.
Yeah,
Everybody else.
pretty much.
Let me say this too, really.
We got
quickly
one more
off
match.
subject. I love how big men use big man moves like power bomb, but I'm not a fan of Braun Strowman power bomb. He gonna fucking hurt somebody, dog. He is gonna drop somebody on that shit.
I would feel better if he went back to the power slam.
That's what I'm saying. Like I love
was-
putting
it
big
was
man
safe.
moves, but his shit
It
is
was
just
safe.
he gonna break somebody's neck, dog. When he slammed Gable, I was like, shit.
Yeah, you can't kill Gable, dog.
Right, Gable was a national treasure.
Like Gable is when we need someone to get
Man.
fucked up for a storyline,
Nah.
you send out
Okay,
Gable.
so
We still got one more match though.
okay, give me the one more. Because I got a wild take about Chad Gable.
It's
Thought he
the
could've been hurt.
it's the women. So the women 4-way. So it's Storm, Deeb, Athena, and Baker.
I would like Britt Baker to win,
They should have
but-
put the belt back on her.
but Tony gonna take it.
Tony gonna take it because rumor has it she was supposed to beat
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa, and that's when they said like the locker room is like they can't stand her right now because she didn't want to drop the belt. So that's why they said they thought like she feigned that injury. So the whole locker room is like on Thunder Rosa. They against her right now.
I can believe that.
Wrestling is the only sport where like I've never heard of a basketball player faking an injury to not go out there and play.
Just because she didn't want to give up the belt.
Right? It's like he gonna cook my shit. Hey, yo, boss, my ankle hurt. I can't go out.
You got me losing to what? No, I ain't losing to him, dog. My ACL.
Niggas' egos.
Mental
real.
health.
Like
Mental health.
dog, like Shawn Michaels might be the coldest nigga in the world. That nigga sat in Ben's office. You want me to lose to who? Brett? WrestleMania? All right, fam, watch this. My ankle hurt. Doctor said I can never wrestle again. Like, how you come to your boss and be like, bro, doctor said I can never wrestle again. Once they and then Swerved, everybody was on TV, was like, I lost my smile. Didn't even mention his leg was hurt. I'm gonna give up the belt because I lost my smile. Then about 3 weeks later, did a backflip off the top rope, like, well, guess I'm cured. I totally everybody hates Bret Hart because he was a crybaby, but him crying was really justifiable. Like, yo, this is the nigga that you love. This is what he did. He faked the whole injury to not lose to me. Fuck my whole storyline up.
Terrible.
Like, he fucked up the whole flow of everything. Shawn Michaels really disrupted some shit. Like, dog.
Get away with it.
Did it, man, got away with it.
So what's on your mind, Juan? What's left on the agenda?
Okay, so how long?
We got like a 30 minutes left.
Okay, so have you been keeping up with the messiness of the internet?
I have. I'm
It
always
depends on
reading dirt shit.
what messiness we talking about.
So-
There's a lot of it going
There's
on.
a
right
lot
now.
of it.
So lately, I don't know who asked Ethan Carter anything, but apparently he just woke up one morning and was like, "Hey y'all, did y'all know Velveteen Dream was a dick watcher?" I like, who wakes up with that? Like, what was the conversation
First of
that
all,
you niggas had to be having
That's wild.
for you to be like, "Oh yeah, folks trying to watch me piss"?
I think it was because the nigga Velveteen Dream was back in the news. He fought somebody at a gym and shit. Like he didn't want to wipe some shit down at like a Planet Fitness or some shit, and he got into like a tussle and got arrested. So then
I did hear
EC3
about
was
that.
just like, oh, while he whooping gym people ass, let me tell y'all about this party when he had his phone and watching my dick and shit.
Somebody probably brung up the story about the fight. It's like, oh yeah, man, Velveteen is a wild boy.
And they
bro.
probably didn't even call him Velvet. They was like, yo, that nigga Patrick Clark,
like, yeah, Patrick.
he get it in.
Well, Clark's a wild boy.
EC3 said that he was like, man, we didn't know if he was really gay, if it was just a persona or what. He was
Right,
like,
he's a wild boy.
yeah, he was
Like,
like,
I think he really is, man, because there was this one time like dog set his
So-
phone up in the bathroom.
Then, like, so just hearing that, I was just like, so
We just not.
most toilets, be set up like this.
He said it was on the sink.
So, okay, so if it's on it, like, how was the? My thing is this: how did you walk in and like not see the phone?
He was
How
pussy-
many people peed before you noticed?
He was drunk.
So then, did you see Velveteen's response?
oh, yeah. He
Yeah,
said-
I'm reading it right now.
He said, oh, you ain't going to tell everybody about the white substance that was on that table and shit.
Hey, yo,
said it
he
was
admitted.
funny of
He was
that.
like, yeah, we was all doing cocaine.
He said, it's a bunch of people who still work there currently, so I'm not going to say no name, but people know what was going on at
Yo,
that party.
Adam Cole, I know you was there. Come clear my nigga name. Mr. Bebe, I know you was there.
Adam Cole trying to get back to NXT. He like, hold on, I ain't finna fuck up the bag yet.
Cole
Let me-
ain't finna say nothing. Matter of fact, he's
You know
trying to
what's
figure out a
crazy,
way to
bro?
get his girl out this deal.
On the real, he trying to hit it.
Nobody was even thinking about this nigga until the two people you was trying to build this company with was like, oh, Triple H called. I'm not coming to work today. Next time you need me, I'll be on Friday nights.
Yep, that is another
Because
example.
Carrier Cross was like, yo, control your narrative, nigga. I'm trying to control my wallet. I had the fuck out of here. True.
Braun did the same thing. They was all control your narrative.
They got the fuck out of Dodge. EC3 called. It was like, hey man, where my phone call at?
On the real, hey, can you talk to Trips?
Right,
and see-
you think I
Can
can
you
come
get me
back?
back in there, dog?
Because
But-
it's crazy. Because like me and Tom been mentioning earlier, we
Yeah, that's why
this,
Black has mental health problems, but
we got
fam finna come up out the floor on a random ass Friday one of these
Right.
days. Why?
we got this group chat, and I don't know if it was me or somebody, but one day niggas was just like, dog, you think Triple H would call Velveteen Dream? And everybody was like,
That was Ant.
he was like, yeah, man, that'd be a good idea, And then all of this shit started
just
happening.
happened.
Just
Just
no,
happened.
EC3
I
out
think
here
he
dick
would.
watching.
I didn't think he would have reached out to him anyways with the severity of the shit with the little boy saying he was sending them dick pictures and shit. Triple
That's
H
what I
and them.
told you, bro.
But here's
He was through.
But here's the thing. First of all, he was not through. Whatever investigation WWE does, and whatever makes them sleep at night when they go investigate shit, they say they didn't find nothing. So if you didn't find nothing, I get it. The court of public opinion is crazy. But what a lot of people do not remember, Austin Theory got in trouble for the same shit.
Well, Riddle did too. A bunch of them got
that's
in
what I'm
trouble for that shit.
But see, Riddle,
But it wasn't with no kid though. It's a young ass kid.
it was just a girl with Theory. It was definitely a minor.
So I never heard Theory's story.
Theory got in trouble for apparently sexting a minor that he met at an indie show. So you remember when Seth went heel and then he started kicking it with AOP, and then as soon as the pandemic hit, one of the dudes from AOP got hurt and then it ended up getting released. So they brought Theory in from developmental. He wasn't even in NXT yet. He was in Evolve. They brought Theory in, and it was Theory, Seth, and Murphy. Then all these rumors started to happen, and then Theory just randomly got beat up and disappeared from TV. Then he popped up in NXT when Johnny Gargano started the way. And now he's getting this big ass. I'm like, do niggas use WWE make disappear what they want?
Okay, wait a minute. Now, let's stop here for a minute. What did Theory get in trouble for?
The same shit. He
Hold
was
on,
just sending.
no.
I'm not even gonna say he was sending it, but it was sexual misconduct with a minor.
Okay, sexual misconduct. Let's just stop right there because the minor part is alleged. Okay, who was giving Theory his big push?
Vince McMahon.
What is Vince McMahon no longer in the company for?
A lot of sexual misconduct. He understood his pain.
Okay.
He said, "Hey, bro, I know what you're going through.
Now,
I'm paying a bitch right now not to talk."
Right.
For real.
so when like minds come together, things can disappear.
Yeah, but
Even though Dream is being accused of the same thing, it's not the same kind of dude that's in charge. That's the difference. Now, if it was Vince, Velvet may be back. He may be jobbing out to Quincy Elliott for a few times, but he'll at least be back on the payroll.
I just be like, no, WWE really pick and choose when they make disappear.
No, Vince pick and choose who they want to
I'm
make.
like, oh, my nigga, you was in charge when these sexual
look-
misconduct things came
Because
out.
perfect example, Riddle. Riddle was in some deep shit. That's why he had
Super
to drop
deep
the
shit.
mat.
But Riddle was smart about his situation.
He shut the fuck up and let his name be gone.
And he got in front of it too. He was like, hey, yo, this bitch crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she talking about. I ain't on that. Here, Vince, this is the information. All you need. Handle that. Vince was like, cool, got you. Your name is Riddle.
And now Triple H said, you got Matt back.
You're
They
Matt.
gave him back.
That it's gone
He
long
mentioned-
enough that you're mad
He
again.
mentioned that in the interview he did with Dude. He was like, I noticed you gave him his name back. He was like, yeah. I mean, we wanted to be as real as
He
possible.
gave Austin Theory back.
If
his
you
name.
have a problem with a guy, you probably address him by his what? First name.
First name.
His name's Matt.
And that's what happened.
He gave Austin Theory.
Shout
back
out
his
to
name.
I don't care who came up with this idea, but shout out to this usage of like cell phone footage, parking lot brawl that fucking happened with Riddle and Seth.
Hey, they did a lot of dumb shit with they rivalry, man. That shit.
And it got personal too.
It's just an attempt to be.
Well, I don't know if it got personal in real life, but
And you know,
they
what's
sold
crazy?
it like it was personal.
No, this is the funny part. Like when they started the program, I was like, I wonder how this is gonna work. Because like when Riddle first got signed, they had heat,
He said he'll never work with Riddle.
right? Because
Oh.
Riddle was,
Riddle's wife was body shaming Becky.
you know, Seth was the nigga and he
Oh,
top
so
dog. I
personal.
never worked with this nigga. So if I ain't never gonna work with you, you ain't never gonna hit a
But
certain
what's the name
status.
said the same thing. Roman said he'll never work with Dog because he was bad mouthing Roman and shit. That's what Riddle did though. He talked about Goldberg. He talked about some of everybody.
Yeah, he rubbed
You
a
know
lot
what
of
I'm saying? He
people the
rubbed a
wrong
lot of
way.
people wrong.
Like
And
coming
Roman
in.
said the same thing. Like, I never fucking wrestle this guy. Next thing you know, he wrestling them on SmackDown for
Hey,
the belt.
sometimes you got to make shit right.
You
I fuck
did.
with Riddle the long way.
I feel like the shit Riddle was
Riddle
on
still ain't grew on
is
me
what
yet.
they get college athletes for. Because like like when you in college and you think like, okay, I know I'm gonna go pro, but I ain't never gonna play for this team. And then they like, as soon as you get drafted, they dig up some old tweets like, yo, I thought you said this about Dog. Like, where that energy at?
You were Caucasian and you said niggas ain't shit back in 2012.
Oh, yeah,
huh?
they-
We saw it.
Tweets, they'll find
Yeah,
They
tweets.
be
find
digging
all
up.
that shit.
They be digging up plenty of old ass college tweets. But
Somebody back there.
yeah, they had heat, but I like how they actually told the story for like 2 or 3 months and they had never wrestled. Usually it's like it's a match, it's a rematch, and all this in between. It's like these niggas had one match.
Yep.
And it took them 3 months to get to it.
But when
And
we
then-
got there,
And then it was fucking great.
Where's Randy?
Randy,
is at home.
initially, Randy had a back injury.
Yeah.
And
And then I thought they said he got clear from it.
yeah,
But
So
let
now
me
he just
ask-
kicking it.
but let
but
me ask you
when you
this:
look-
do
when you look-
we need it?
yeah, like when you look at the flow of wrestling, if you bring Randy back, where you put him at?
We don't need him. That's Randy has earned the
Turn
right
on,
to.
give us him
Right,
and Riddle.
but
You
it's
gotta
like
turn on
Riddle got
Yeah,
this
you
shit
say
with
that for
Seth,
after we finish
and
the
Seth
Seth
ain't got no tag team partner, so it's not like you get jumped,
Right.
and you need help.
Randy sitting in the back chilling until Cody is cleared is perfect because it gets Seth and Riddle to do whatever they gonna do for a while, which keeps him relevant.
I like to see Cody wrestle Randy again.
My whole thing is once Cody's back, he finishes this program with Seth.
It should have been finished. We don't need like 8 matches.
We
from
don't
now.
need 8 matches.
And then
But
Seth
they
is
so
gonna-
fucking good.
But you got Seth damn near losing every one.
and that's why I think this one
That's
coming.
my only issue with
And
it. He
he-
didn't win not one.
see, but when you so good, shit don't matter.
You don't need to
Like when you're really good, like there are certain wrestlers, in my opinion, who wrestling is a game of narratives. Some people feel like they need to win to be over. Seth just showed you, because when you really look at Seth win-loss record, he just won TV matches. Seth ain't won on pay-per-view since the Royal Rumble. And even then, Roman beat his ass and got disqualified.
Beat the shit. I was there like, yeah, fuck him up.
So it's like, so it just be a game in there. Like some people, like Seth is showing you, like, look, I can take an L. I'm still the best wrestler in the fucking world, and I'm making these niggas look like $1 million.
He pissed my boy Roman off at the Roman. He came out in the Shield shit,
Dog,
came through the
tried
crowd.
to
Roman
fist
was,
bump him mid-match.
man, he was pissed.
Set him right off. But
I
yeah,
see we got Raw December 12th, so I'm letting y'all know now. I seen a commercial. For
Oh
it
yeah, I'm
yesterday
going.
on
That's my
SmackDown.
birthday week.
oh yeah, that's cool. You know,
Yeah, I'm already
I'll
going.
buy some tickets. I gotta be on the floor.
I like the floor.
Can we
too.
not be where we were though? Because old boy in the blue hoodie, I want to whoop his ass.
You buy your own ticket.
Fine, I guess I will.
I'll buy my. You matter of fact, you should just buy them all this time.
No, I shouldn't.
He said if he buy them all, he gonna pick where we sit.
Right.
That's
Because
cool.
I gotta buy 4. I gotta buy 3
That's
for my
cool.
kids, and I
Maybe
gotta
you
buy
can
mine.
pick a better spot then.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Because that's my birthday week. I'm trying to be behind. I'm trying to be right there.
Well, every time we buy tickets, we could be right there.
I'm trying to be right there,
I'm trying to be right there with you then.
or at least just the Raptor up a little bit so I see over everybody, but I'm not that far back. Because now once you in the Pfizer and you see how it's laid out, that very first row before you step down on floor, perfectly fine.
Yeah, but I don't know what them chairs look like.
Same chairs.
They're the same chairs. I can sit there.
Let me ask y'all a random question. So if you book in Mania, of course you know Brock Lesnar is gonna return around Mania. Now, one person been calling him out, and I would love to see that match.
Who's
and
been
I think it's
calling
a
him out?
Mania-worthy match.
Who been speaking of the beast?
Gunther, Walter been calling out Brock.
That's ugly. I want to see.
I would want to see that shit though.
After
That would be a hard-hitting ass match.
After the Sheamus shit, yes, I would want to see that.
It would be hard-hitting big time.
Gunther want all the smoke.
He do. But I think that's a Mania or Rumble worthy match because Gunther gonna hold his own.
Got to be Mania.
That's what I'm saying.
I would want to see.
Because you want to know why it's got to be Mania. Gunther is just that hard hitting enough that getting a W on Brock is not a bad thing to Brock
See,
He'll put you over.
this is why I feel like
if he likes you.
this
Though.
is why we need to. I see Vince McMahon logic.
It's
That's
why we need 2 nights.
Because with these 2 nights, WrestleMania needs to feel like the All-Star game. I need everybody that the fans fuck with to be on this card. Whether we boo you, whether we cheer you, we're going to applaud you for the effort that you're going to put in. So, Gunther versus Brock, WrestleMania in LA.
I think we
need
can
it.
pencil that.
If you take that, if you think about it, if you look back at past WrestleManias, if WrestleMania 18 was a 2-night pay-per-view, that would look completely different because everybody was burnt out on Jericho by the time we got Jericho and Triple H because of Rock and Hogan. You could have did Rock and Hogan on Saturday and still made the belt feel like an awesome ass match.
Sometimes Vince McMahon just don't listen to the talent.
Let me play Booker too. Here goes some more matches I would like to see. If they somehow get one of those belts off of Roman, I would say Theory has one of those belts. Now, earlier this year, he kept calling out John Cena. That would be a match where John Cena could break the record for the most title wins. So I could see Theory and Cena.
That'd be a quick dub, and then
I think
Cena
it could be a pretty decent match.
Is Cena just sitting the belt down and it's up for grabs the next Monday night? Because I don't see bro coming
I can
back.
see him coming to Raw and losing it.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? Losing it to somebody.
We as wrestling fans need to let this shit go.
You don't want him to break the
I'm
record?
talking about Ric Flair title record. That's what we need to let go.
No,
You know they always bring
they're
that
only
shit
holding
up.
on to it because one, Flair's still wrestling.
Because I'm a technical nigga, and if you want to get technical, that shit don't count here. Cena is technically the record holder. Cena got 16 world titles, all in the WWE. We be giving Ric Flair credit for some shit he did before he got here. Because Ric Flair got 2 WWF titles. We giving that nigga.
I know I remember one of them motherfuckers.
No,
He won the Rumble.
He won the Rumble, and then he run it back for Macho Man within their storyline.
Yeah.
But we is giving Ric Flair a lot of credit here for some shit he did on the other channel.
On WCW.
That's just my thing about it. And a lot of people,
most of Flair titles are TNA titles. No, NWA titles.
NWA titles. And technically 21 times. It's like 5 they don't recognize. That's why they cut it to 16. But then if you take out the 2 WWF titles, it's just 13 or it's just 14. But like
It's
how
a
I
nostalgic
feel
thing.
about they need to reconstruct NBA lists and they need to reconstruct rapper lists. Fuck Ric Flair. And it's not because of what he did on the Plane Ride from Hell. It's just Fuck you.
He was living his gimmick, bro. I don't care what nobody say.
John Cena is the official record holder in my eyes with 16 titles.
Let me ask y'all another question. Too.
Yep, he did it.
Who do you think, if now that Triple H is back in power, and you know a lot of these dudes who left and went and signed these 5-year deals, who all do you think over there was in good graces with Triple H, Paul Heyman, and shit that wish they could get out of their deals and get back to WWE right now?
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole wants.
You,
I think he wants
UE
to go.
as a whole. Let's just say UE.
Yeah, UE.
Well, they
as a
already
whole.
let Bobby Fish go, which is stupid for the storyline. Shit, you had them turn on the Bucks, and then you fire Dog or let him go.
We talked about that in the group
That's
too.
stupid.
They let Bobby Fish go because with Cole and whatchamacallit being injured, there's no way you could keep going with the storyline, and they had to do something with the Bucks since you definitely already had Omega on his way back. So they killed the storyline for that, and then that's when, if you pay attention, that's when the trios thing really started taking off. Because, like we said earlier in the show, it was always meant for them three to have this random belt.
Man, they could have put him on Dark, anything for the time being. Wrestle some single matches on Dark, like it fucked up a lot of shit.
I don't think Bobby really wanted to be there. I think Bobby only came there because
Bobby came. It's like when it's like when you got 3 niggas who really want to go to the party. And that 4th nigga like, well, my nigga's here.
Yeah, that's Bobby was only there.
I don't think Kyle O'Reilly wanted to leave.
I don't think he wanted to leave either.
But my friend is over
and there was still with Vince running the shit.
And let's be 100%.
Roddy just got to hold on for like 5 years.
Let's be 100%.
Hold on, Roddy. UE coming back.
I think them niggas trying to get out now.
Cole only came over because his wife was up there. If Britt was in like Stardom or somewhere else, Cole would have sat at home for a while, chilled out, had a talk with Tripp.
The Gargano.
Yeah.
Cole really didn't want to leave.
He didn't.
No.
His contract expired, but he was in the middle of a storyline. He's like, I'll let you extend me for about 30 of them things so we can finish this shit. But he really didn't want to go nowhere.
He didn't want to go.
What about Keith Lee? You think he regretting it?
Keith,
because Triple H had him in good graces. Then that's when Vince you're gonna be Bearcat and all this shit.
I don't think Keith regrets it. I just think that because Vince didn't appreciate him, the company as a whole is a bad taste in his mouth right now. So he's gonna stay there for his whole contract because right away Keith came in, he got gold. Him and Swerve is doing whatever they're doing. So Keith can eventually get into a title picture
Swerve,
at AEW.
another one.
Yeah, Swerve definitely. Like,
I don't
unless them two is coming back and immediately going to the main roster, there's no rush for either one of them to come back. Even though Hit Row is back,
and they suck,
and it's not the same.
It's not the same. We was joking the other day when they had the 4-way when Hit Row and Street Profit was together. Just put all 4 of them together. Let Taz be the superstar he is. He goes start doing single matches. Dawkins is over here kicking it with Hit Row. Now the Hit Row was underdog, and it's just
nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants them there to begin with because beef serves no purpose.
But
Buddy Matthews is another person I think.
I get hired to do a lot of random thinking about.
Buddy's
wrestling.
different.
He date Rhea in real life too, so he probably want to be with his bitch.
Yeah,
I feel like what I'm starting to see in AEW is like, so when you listen to the internet be like, oh, niggas need to move here because they're going to be stars here. And Vince didn't know what to do with them. But then when they come over to AEW and you be like, well, if Vince McMahon saw him like this, and then he gets over here and then Tony Khan sees you in the same light, is it like, what are we really talking about? Because you got one nigga who been doing this for 50 years is like, hey, you ain't going to be shit here. And then you go to another nigga and you like, you really ain't got what I like anyway, but I give you a job.
I think
Mr. Man was smart enough to cut his losses. Like, you not gonna make me no money.
I think
you gotta go.
I think what it is a lot of people feel like they have that star power, and because you had a hot moment, you had a hot song, and this record label is not going to let your album drop. I'm gonna go somewhere else, and Loud Record will gladly give you the ability to drop your album, and then you barely go wood.
But with Keith Lee, though, I do feel like the change of regime is what kind of threw him out of whack because he had the momentum.
And NXT was that nigga.
Like you was
Yeah,
the
he was
nigga in
when he the
NXT.
first two
yeah,
double
he had
title
two
champ.
belts.
Triple H put, but like first Roman stamped you. Like you was already good. Roman stamped you
At Survivor Series.
at Survivor Series. Roman stamped you. So I'm like, okay, my big dog. Like, hey, he that one. When he come up, I'm gonna have somebody to fuck with. Then Triple H was like, all right, you gonna get both of the belts. Then it's like we moving to the main roster. And it's like,
But you also got to remember they did his bitch dirty too, though.
That's what I'm saying. Mia, he probably pissed off about Mia Yim.
He definitely Mia.
Mia wasn't never good to me.
She
I was just gonna say,
good.
like, was Mia Yim really even valid? Like, I mean, niggas be crying. Yo, look, I understand that
You got to hold your bitch down.
niggas gotta understand that just because you my favorite don't mean that you really good at your job.
Yes, because I love Dana Brooks, and we all
And
know.
we all know how shitty she is.
Right.
But that couple shit I think
It make a
Aleister
difference.
Black, that's another reason he want to be back near Zelina. Now you got Braun Strowman with his bitch.
Right.
He with Raquel. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like nobody's learned from John Morrison's mistake.
Yeah,
nobody learned.
But see that
John Morrison did what? Stuck up for his bitch. Guess what Vince did? Buried his goofy ass. Oh, I paid all this money for Snooki to come in. I gave you a prime spot on my show, and this how you act? No, fuck that. You going all the way to the bottom of the card.
And actually, he's really never recovered since.
Never. John Morrison ain't been the same no matter where he goes.
He really ain't recovered.
Because not only was you sticking up for your bitch, but your bitch was fucking the locker room. Why do you care?
Batista hit his bitch.
Everybody's fucking this bitch, though.
I would have hit his bitch.
Right, man.
The splits alone on the ring apron. I'd be like, you want me to meet you where?
At the end of the day, you got to pick and choose your battles, people.
And that would have been like, I'd have told Bay, like, look, you got to take this L. You ain't in this match. We done got Trish. I'm going to bring home a bag, and you just got to deal with it, fam.
Because Mia Yim is over in Impact right now.
Doing what? Absolutely nothing.
She literally just cost somebody a match.
Niggas got, man.
He can't even get his bitch AEW, huh?
Right. Like, you ain't got no pool, bro.
Tony Khan said, no, get that. I can't even put that bitch in RH, man.
Man, just.
I don't even think ROH got a women's division yet.
They got a women's title. Mercedes Martinez got it.
They got a
and I think she been hurt. She last defended it against Serena Deeb, and then she disappeared with an injury. Willow was on Ring of Honor, all that.
If you're a wrestler and like the booker just tell you some shit and you stick up for your bitch, just let your bitch take that. Y'all gotta stop putting y'all
Bill still gotta get paid.
Right.
Big fact, somebody gotta pay them
bills. Stop putting these hoes in front of your career.
They gonna learn.
Because not both of you niggas jobless. Well, yeah.
Well,
they fired Frankie Monet too. And I liked her.
I think they didn't give her gimmick a chance.
I liked her. She was gonna be good. But I saw the death when they put her with Robert Stone. I was like, oh, this nigga kill her gimmick, bro. This shit trash. He trash.
Yeah, he is.
Mercedes.
WWE didn't sign him when they should have signed him.
All right. But we have come to the end of this episode because if I don't stop Juan, he will ramble forever and a day. Make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms at Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Make sure you check out the Death Fresh Show as we continue on the road to 300.
Yeah, this episode don't count. It count, but it don't count.
No, this is
not toward 300.
Yeah, Between the Ropes is just its own.
This is its own entity. Yeah. This is episode 2 of Between the Ropes.
Yeah, actually, it's probably like 13, but yeah, we just started counting.
We just started counting.
So we just started counting.
See, you here in the early incarnations.
That's what I'm saying. I appreciate it, man. Bring me on.
Yeah, you might be our permanent third.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anybody who want to talk wrestling, bro, sit down. Because I like everybody's view and opinion. Because everybody don't see wrestling the way I see it.
Plus, I think we might want to do this after every pay-per-view, every WWE pay-per-view. Because AEW don't really have pay-per-views.
They have them like every 3 months.
They just take two shows. They just take 2 shows, and again, that's a takeover.
Because they'll give you some fire shit on like free TV.
Right. That's basically what Grand Slam is.
Tony got to relax on that.
You said we was gonna talk about it before leave. Are you happy that takeovers coming back? Because I think the crowd down there in NXT is starting to get watered out. I'm tired of the same places. Like Triple H used to Brooklyn.
Are they going back
Chicago.
on? Are they going back on the road?
It's
Going on the
going
road.
back to everything.
Everything on the road.
Everything.
Everything.
If they're going back on the road,
All the takeover is coming back. They already announced it.
It needs to go back on the road because it needs to be treated as the third brand, not the developmental show.
Right,
2.0 was a developmental show, so you just needed one place, and then that's you came and you watched it. But when you treat it as a third show, you need to go out on the road.
Yeah, so they're bringing it back how it used to
that's
be.
cool. I can fuck
And
with
it
that.
works because you got this new crop of talent. You can bring a few of the main roster people down sometimes to spice it up a little bit. Because let's be honest, Mandy Rose is at that point where she's beating everybody.
She
Yeah,
needs
it's
to
time
go-
for her to
she-
go.
She got to come back.
It's
She gotta
either
bring
time for-
Toxic Attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
it's
her
either
go.
time for her to go up or it's time for some of them to come down to give her challenges.
her. No, send her back
No, send her back.
because they be having Toxic Attraction on SmackDown wrestling.
And we need if we really finna put it on go with this women's tag team, we need more tag team.
True, we do need more tag teams, but I don't want Mandy Rose to come up and be on a roll and gotta run into this version of Bailey.
I like it.
I don't
'Cause
want it yet.
I like this version of
This
Mandy.
Bailey is a beast.
Nah, damn man.
She's a general right now, fam.
Mandy the shit though. Mandy is the shit.
So
I
when you
do-
call, okay, so before we go, because we only got like 4 minutes, one person, Mandy's first challenger when she comes up.
It all depends on if she gonna be a face or a heel.
Mandy, bro.
I would like to see.
It's Mandy. You could do either or, but if we bring in Toxic Attraction 2, she got to be a heel.
I throw her at Bianca. Just because she a champion on that brand, put her in the championship picture. That or her and Sonya kick off a program and rekindle what they once had.
Sonya being a pimp of Toxic Attraction.
That-
I'm with it. Big Daddy Sonya. I'm with the shit.
Me personally, and this is only because we've gotten to this point, everybody is done. Mandy first match, take that belt off of Liv.
I don't think Liv gonna keep that belt soon. I think they finna put it back on Ronda just to
Yo,
bring Charlotte back.
If Liv beat Ronda
She's already done it.
3 times in a row,
It's to the point that Liv's cocky right
And
now.
it's an Extreme Rules match.
I
now.
wouldn't.
So
even,
it still can happen.
I wouldn't even be mad if Ronda was like, you know what, I'm going home. Because logically, physically, none of this shit makes
But
sense.
it's an extreme rule. So all you have to do is crack her ass with something one time, and the tides have changed.
But another thing, you see how she keep on telling Shayna, when you're ready to start breaking arms and doing shit the way we know we can, let me know.
But that's why I
think
think them two is gonna go in the tag
They gonna
division
go
and
crazy.
wreck.
I was saying that.
I
to
think
my
they put a
homeboys.
tag up and
I
crack.
was like, because he was like, what you think they're gonna do with Charlotte when Charlotte come back? I was like, low key though, Charlotte really needs to do something different. I wouldn't mind seeing Charlotte in a tag team.
With who though?
Natty.
No, Natty
Why?
gotta go.
Why?
Natty gotta go, bruh.
Charlotte can't be a tag team with Natty?
Natty is this generation's Bret Hart.
Is Sasha and Naomi coming back as a tag team?
They are, because they've been doing everything publicly as
Together.
a tag together.
But Naomi needs to join the bloodline.
She will. That's when you break it up.
Yeah, that's when you break
That's
it
when
up.
you break
That's
it
what
up.
she'll be the one that turned on Sasha.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if that, see, that's one of those things where it writes itself.
Hey, we
Right.
gotta be bookers, man. They've been looking for new writers.
Sasha
dog.
is usually the one who always turns on her friend.
everybody. So you gotta do that. And it's crazy because on the game, that's actually a storyline. You tag up with her in a mixed tag, and then she turns on you because her husband is a oos. It just leaves you with a dick in the dirt.
I'm with the shit.
And I'm good. That's what's gonna happen. That's why I'm not in a rush. That's why I'm not in a rush for them to come back. And I feel like they already are signed back, and Tripp is just letting them be out because they're going to do shit publicly together as a group. And remember, they didn't lose the tag belts. It was taken from them. Or my fault. They dropped it off because they was sick of
They went
shit.
home.
They went home. So you can build up the tag belts again, move them around, have different people do them, and then have one of those moments where someone feels they're unbeatable, and then look who's at the door.
You had 15 seconds.
I can clip the intro.
Okay, you clipped the
I
intro.
can clip the intro. But with that being said, because we'll talk about this all day, we about to get the fuck up out of here. Shout out to all y'all who's watching this.